Welcome back, folks. Greetings to all the brethren, sistren, and otherin out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to No Theoretical Bias Presents. Glad to see you all. I'm glad to see you survive the holidays. So we'll jump right back into Pilate's Voyage, starting with a chronicle of shards and ash. When last we met. When last we met, the intrepid group made hasty preparations to leave East Haven, hoping to become scarce before a summons from Meister Grisbane of the Clean called them to Irongate for an update on their scouting expedition in the Sea of Dust. Uh, Micah did more work for Kirkland at the Queen's Forge. Revan was the victim of a spectacular flirting session with Delia, and the rest prepared for the journey to the Burning Forest. Their goal, a powerful weapon of the ancients. Not a lot of information about that. Their task, to find it and return it to Mengel at the foundry where Mengel is making hybrid created zombies. Their reward, a new body for their new friend, the created name Pilate. The trip to the Burning Forest was uneventful, and the group braved ash, smoke, and heat of the ever-burning trees. They made their way to the much-rumored Crimson Grove, the last remaining trees in the area, their bark, leaves, and wood all shades of drying blood. A suspiciously clear zone between the burning and the living trees gave the party a pause. Revan attempted to summon a spirit, only to find that one had been living here and waiting for someone like him for a very, very, very long time. Bramblethorn, the Fae. After an exhausting series of puns and wordplay, it disappeared. When Sumac attempted to scout ahead, she was met with a single arrow at her feet. The message, you are in sight and in range. Revan attempted a few magical works which got the attention of a shaman of the local tribe of horned centaurs, Magda. Magda, white-haired and apparently quite wise. She approached the group alone for a parley and was fascinated by Micah. The party was invited to join the centaurs for a bigger meeting. Quickly became very clear that while Micah was an honored guest of the folk, as they are moon worshippers, the fate of the rest was in balance. Urkthor asked about the labyrinth, the resting place of the magical weapon. Magda told them that only the folk had access to the place, and that interlopers were most often sacrificed to the restoration of the Pale Brother and then eaten. So they asked if they could become part of the folk, and lawgiver Cronus was summoned, and he gave it a shrug and a thumbs up. So all you'd have to do is complete the trials, capital T. Long story short, they did. Urkthor was very impressive. Sumac showed some mad skills. Shadow succeeded just by sheer will and stubbornness. Revan used his magic to great effect, and Micah made best use of invisibility, moxie, shenanigans, and more of Revan's input. Score, 5 new folk. So as we begin, the party is recovering from their ordeal, some more than others, and a celebration is being prepared to welcome them all into the tribe. And that's where we find you. Curtain up. All right, so a couple of things are happening. Anybody who's injured, you're being very, very expertly doctored by these centaur. In fact, there's one in charge. He's there to make sure that nobody gets sick. I guess you could call him the centaur for disease control. Boom, right out of the barrel. Okay, you signed up for this, folks.
That's your one.
That's my one. Okay.
That's your one.
Just getting it out of the way. Okay. So you're receiving a bunch of healing. If you were down any hit points, you're back up to full. Some of the medicines don't smell very good, but that's okay. Speaking of smells, you're getting a lot of cooking scents from the big meeting area. They're evidently throwing on the dog, and you hope that that's a euphemism. Revan, oh my gosh, you have a wonderful, wonderful nurse, Revan. She was just so worried about you, and she tells you, Telly is, just the whole dip the rag in the water and like clean the blood off your face, and tears, a single tear streaking down her face. She was just so worried about you. Okay, just I was just okay. So anyway, um, so everybody's healed. If you had any problems with clothing, it's stitched up, cleaned, get the blood stains off. So Magda comes to you and says, "Okay, look, there's kind of a format. Um, you're going to be taken out and brought before the elders, okay? And they're going to give you names, okay? Um, so just you know, be appreciative. There may be some stuff in there. Some of them may want to talk about how impressed they are with you. If they don't take it personally. Um, and yeah, and then food, and then we can talk about you know anything else after that. So, anybody doing any preparations before the big to do?
Well, Shadow, during that interaction with Bramblethorn, memorized one of those long bits of wordplay and is currently doing their best to get kicked out of the folk by repeating it.
All right.
I'm
I'm
going
remind
to
I'm re-
probably.
I'm reminded of the movie. They're like, "Oh, I'm looking for one of your people here. Oh, we are all the same. Oh no, I'm looking. He's kind of weird. He's an American. Oh no, we are all the same in the eyes of God. This guy talks out of his ass. Oh, him. Yeah, he's right over there. So yeah, no, we are all the people. We are all the folk. This one repeats like lines from poetry incessantly.
We
Oh,
must
them,
save my
them.
family.
They're over there. Them. That's them.
I'm probably going to
Anybody?
be looking for something to feed Sidewinder.
So this is a
Mhm.
big.
From due to my knowledge, I don't think horses take well to snakes. They tend to want to stomp those. So I'm
Yes.
going to need to handle that.
Yes. Something that quickly becomes apparent. These folks are looking pretty obligate carnivore. You're not you're not smelling any like roasted greenery. And again, talking with them up close and personal, the dentition has changed. They have very, very sharp teeth. So anywho, so probably finding some animal protein will not be a hard time for Sidewinder. Will Sidewinder eat something that's dead, or does he have to catch it himself?
No, as long as it's vaguely shaped and he can swallow it, that's about
Okay,
it.
you got
Snakes don't really care most of the time.
you got to wiggle it for him. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
get him
So
to smell it first.
anybody else going once?
It's
Uh, You go first.
it's a giant party celebrating meat, right?
Among
So
others.
of
Yes.
course, I'm going to find the nearest source of alcohol and start pre-gaming.
Oh, okay.
Right?
You know what?
All right.
Shadow will join you once one of the centaurs kicks me the fuck away from them. I'll come join you.
Can
Yes.
Micah get drunk?
Uh,
We test
You-
this the other day.
you don't.
Oh,
have
we did, didn't we?
I don't think you have the metabolism. You might do. You might do something like heavy metals, and as you process it,
We
it
gotta
might
find you
poison
mercury.
Oh,
and see
it
what
was
happens.
candy that messed me up.
Oh,
It
the
was like
sugar.
honey or something
Okay,
that gunked me up.
gotcha. Okay, so show of hands. Who here knows what I mean when I say kumis? All right, so they do have alcohol. Um, history minor. Kumis. Kumis is a lovely fermented beverage, originally, we think, most famously popularized by the Mongols of ancientry.
Oh, I know what this is.
Just you need something with sugar in it, right? That's what makes alcohol. So a nice stiff mixture of mare's milk and blood and a little bit of yeast. Okay. It is chunky. Chew twice before you swallow it. And it tastes about like you would imagine. Okay. So yeah, you can get as effed up on actually Yeah, you can decide whether or not you actually enjoy it. But yeah, you can have all the commiss. And then this next question is, where did they get the milk? So, all right,
I don't
again,
ask too many questions.
exactly, just don't,
Hey,
just don't.
some people drink the blood of their enemies. Other people get drunk off the blood of their enemies.
or their friends in this case. Yeah. So,
Ooh.
oh look, it's kumis, just like Mom used to make.
Different kind of blood bond.
Oh, okay. Hey, a quick jeté back into Coolsville here, folks. All right, so you're all taken out. They've set up a table. They do have tables, but there's not really parish types things. Sometimes they'll do like weird shaped couches to sort of lie down in, but you're standing basically for the meal. But you're going to be presented to the big folks here. There is one of these folks who you have not seen before. All right. This guy is built broad like a blacksmith, all the tattoos, all the scars, none on his face, interestingly enough. Long gray braids, multiple braids with these horn and bone rings, festooned through them. And he's just called the Step Lord. And so when you're each presented, Magda's standing. Magda's not a small lady, and he makes her look like a pony. So he looks at each of you as if he's, like a butcher looking at a cut of meat, trying to decide where the best first cut would be. So the first one that's called up is Urkthor. And the Step Lord says, he reaches over to Magda. Magda has one of those bone rings on a leather cord. And he gestures you forward and he says, "You are Urkthor, yes?
That I am.
In the folk, you shall be Urkthor Iskiros, Urkthor the Strong." He loops it over your head. That little bone ring, it's not very big, but it feels strangely heavy when you're escorted. And they all shout, Urkthor Iskiros, welcome, welcome, welcome. You go off down the side, the receiving line, and they're patting you on the back and pinching your butt. All right, next up, Sumac.
How would you spell that?
I'll put it in the chat. It's got some stoinkers. Sumac is called up next.
Did Urkthor lean over to the nearest person and ask how it's spelled?
Oh,
Yes.
most definitely.
Yes. Joke's on you. He's illiterate. So Sumac is next. Sumac is next. You are the one known as Sumac.
Yes.
To the folk, you shall be Sumac Empiros, the skilled. And puts a little, sends you on down. Gestures to Shadow. Okay. The grim, granite-like demeanor cracks a little bit when Shadow comes up. I call you Shadow?
Uh-huh.
I confess, I did not think you were going to make it. So, to the folk, you shall be Shadow Adamastos, the Indomitable. Puts it around, gives a pat on the shoulder. You, points to Revan, come over here.
Staggers over.
Yeah. Are you called Revan?
Indeed.
To us, to the folk, you shall be Revan Exipnos, the clever. Sit over here. She'll punch in the arm. And then looks over at Micah. And the look on this guy's face is like very, very grudging admiration. Okay.
Is it our turn?
It's your turn. Yeah. You are known as Micah. Yes.
Oh, yes. And Infinus.
You shall be called by us Micah Apocryphos, the unseen. Puts it up.
Micah the Apothecary.
And still has a hold of the lanyard and pulls you in just a little bit. Very, very pushes you back. All right, so you're all greeted into the folk. Everybody's singing, dancing, having a party. The food is almost entirely carnivorous, and I've got those names now in the chat there, so you can copy those over at your convenience. All right, so the other thing is, apart from the commiss, they do have some minor, tiny amounts of things like mead, since apparently there's some bees out here. But mostly they're drinking big, big wooden bowl chalices of water. The thing that hits you instantly is the insanely high mineral content in this water. Okay, and they're tossing it back like it's Evian, and it's stiff. I mean, just pretty grim as far as mineral content.
Yo, this is the best water I've had in a long time. Goes down so easy and smooth. Tastes just kind of like how I imagine home was.
Just like mom used to make. Yep. So
Curious.
yeah.
If you're a plant person, how would that go down? All sound like a good thing.
You're just like hocked up on like minerals right now. You're roided up.
Yes.
Tumac and Mike are having a great time, blanking glasses, and everyone else is like,
Yeah.
oh.
I'm basically a moving cactus.
What's drinking water?
No, so you have a moment.
You're so right.
You have a
At
moment
some
of,
point, I take like the third mead out of Revan's hands.
Oh, no. We like the taste.
And I snatch it right out of yours and I slug it back.
Yeah, he's flying high on commiss right now. Sumac, you actually like fast forward evolve a set of kidneys just so you can develop kidney stones from this. I mean, this is grim. I mean, it's great, and the scientific minded among you go, oh, okay, if they're eating is meat and they've got to get their minerals someplace else, this might be it. All right, so the party goes successfully, unless any of you are going to try anything crazy. Sorry, one last thing. When you're all the new folk are all gathered. The step lord asks if there's any boon that you would ask of us.
Boon in what regard?
Open-ended question.
We would appreciate safe travel, and I will say this defiantly, to the labyrinth.
Easily enough.
Chinese.
I would like to know the method to receive one of these masterful bows.
Oh. Yes. Based entirely on your ability with it. Yes, they will grant you one of the dire bows. And I'll give you the stats for it.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty. So the dire bow. Oh, I'm sorry, dread bow.
Dread
Dread bow. The bows of the horse folk hit hard, made from the horns of their fallen, lacquered, rosined, and then strung with the braided hair of the strongest mare. They are the pride of their wielders. Only a worthy archer, exceedingly strong, tough, and agile, might dream of receiving one. 2 weight, near and far, forceful, 1 piercing. And that'll be in the chat.
Okay.
Now, so, yeah, it's a very, very hard hitter. If you don't know the forceful tag, you can knock someone back or down with it. So,
Awesome. Quick reminder, how does the weight work in this game? How much to carry?
basically, it's dependent on your playbook, but it's
Mhm.
a number plus your strength equivalent, your hard bonus. If you exceed that by 1 or 2, you're at a penalty to actions. If you exceed it by 3 or more, then you can't take action until you drop weight.
Gonna keep trying to find that.
Keep trying to find.
The weight max I have, because 2 is a good amount of weight.
Yeah.
2 is quite a bit of weight.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, any other booms that you asked of the Step Lord?
Yes.
Yes.
I request the bow, the target, and a certificate from my trials to sacrifice to the Pale Brother in your temple, as well as a piece of maybe meteorite if you have it for personal keeping.
Well, they do have a rather messed up bow that somebody decided to channel a cubic ton of magic through.
Yeah, and Micah would like to take the 3 signals of the trials, the bow, the target, and like the kind of certificate saying, hey, you did that 3rd thing, in a manner, and offer them up to the Pale Brother.
Well, yeah. Magda will that's going to take a little while to prepare because we we had the altar set up for something different. Sorry.
I don't need the altar. I don't need the altar to actually sacrifice it.
Did you
I
want
just
to do this as a private ceremony, or did you want some?
please, yes.
Oh, certainly. She gives you the ruined bow. Um, they replace the target every time, so that's not a problem. And she takes off actually one of her own hair ring, and she says, "I won this in the same trials that you won that, and that would be fitting offering to the pale." She hands
Thank
it
you.
to you.
Is there a isolated like an
Here.
isolated tent or anything that I can go and do this ritual?
Actually, she points you. There's some rocky, cliffy type terrain over here, and basically there's this spur of cliffside that comes out. She said if you just go around there, that's kind of our quiet place. Um, that would be wonderful. So
Perfect.
okay. Anybody else doing anything? I know what Revan's doing.
I-
Anybody else doing anything?
Before I actually like do a ritual
Mhm.
for the setup for to sacrifice the stuff to the Pale Brother. That is the intention.
Mhm.
Micah would like to inspect this bow and kind of get a feel for how it's forged, or at least the composition and general design.
Lacquered horn. You think the horn is centaur horn. The string is made from
Less the materials, more the design, just so they
Oh.
know in their head
oh
how they might be able to possibly modify it later if they need.
really strong recurve. It's a lot smaller than it looks like it needs to be, but again, pulling on it, you've got not one but two curves exerting the physics force that way. So it looks tiny compared to what it should be, but it packs a real good punch. Yeah, no, it's oh yeah, and if you're examining it, you're seeing how the pieces were lacquered
Yeah,
together.
how
So
how
that
they're all.
this one is slightly larger than this one, but they kind of stretched it to get that tension. Yeah, it's fascinating workmanship, actually.
Mike is
Okay,
less
yeah,
worried about Mike is less worried about how to make one and more of how can I modify one if
right,
it comes up, and then they'll do their little ritual.
excellent.
I may want to unload something off of somebody because I'm really close to that weight limit.
Okay.
I found it. I don't need 6 water.
I want a pony ride.
Is that what the kids are calling it nowadays? All right, fantastic. Yes.
Oh,
English is so weird. English
would
is so weird.
probably be happy to give you a pony ride.
Exactly.
I thought
no,
Revan.
no,
I
I
thought
want
Revan
to-
He
already
literally
had Talia.
I
Ride
want to
us.
ride. Go fast.
I don't know how fast
Okay.
Talia can go.
You know,
okay.
she could probably also do that.
Okay, so let's just cut to this chase. Basically, they pour Revan into a bucket and take him back to a tent.
He
And
tried with
Really
Sidewinder
fast.
once.
let him
Only
stick it up.
once.
Yeah. What Revan, just so I know how sick you're going to be tomorrow, what is your tough?
I've got one tough.
Oh, okay. Well,
Could be
I
worse.
mean, yeah, and again,
He's
in
got
the
a tolerance.
yeah, again, in the cosmic scheme of things, the folk are like, oh, huh, the little guy with the wooden arm, he can kind of cool. Yeah, you're invited to the barbecue. Hey, how about that?
Hey,
All right, so yeah. Anybody
have
else
a
doing anything? Echo?
small request.
Sure.
As long as we're going around, may I inquire on whether or not your histories are recorded physically on some sort of rock or paper or surface, or are you primarily sharing your people's histories through oral tradition?
The lawgiver looks at you and says, the histories and the law are too important to be written down.
Okay.
They're living entities.
Then
Yeah.
I
He'll talk your ear off about literally any part of it, though, if you want to.
request, in celebration of the rarity of many two-legged folks passing the trials, some amount of a regale of our feats being shared among the people,
Oh, yes, that will be.
He wants
and being
ballad.
included in the lore.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a concern.
yeah.
Just
No,
making sure it's explicitly stated.
I'm working on that one currently. I'm trying to find a rhyme for devious little bastards, and it's just not coming.
Is
Well,
that the name of our group?
No, we are all one under the eyes of the Pale Brother of folk Micah. Yeah.
note taken.
So,
Mhm.
all right. Anybody else going once? All right. So, Micah, you go around to the quiet place. Unusually, you have seen the big altar to the Pale Brother, and it's pretty impressive. This it's a nice little. It's sort of a curve in this little cliff wall, probably 10, 12 feet, and the trees are fairly close, so you've got this nice dappled, again, everything in shades of red. incongruously, over on the side of, just kind of out of everybody's way, is a little stone shelf. Basically, some rectangular rocks with a big flat rectangular rock on top of it. And there are two bowls on top of the shelf. This one has milk. This one has what looks like grain, like wild oats or wild wheat, some sort of grain substance, and this one has milk. So what do you do?
This is in the quiet place, though,
Yes,
and
correct.
I'm by myself.
You are by yourself, correct.
Micah, seeing this. Oh, they left. I didn't realize they had little sacrifices and everything for their rituals. I guess these are a part of it. And going to pick up both of them and set them next to the area they're gonna work. They're gonna kind of bend the bow around the target and put the lock of hair just right in the center.
Okay.
Sprinkle
Um,
oats on it.
Something is watching you.
Mike is oblivious.
Okay.
I'll be honest.
There's a there's a ripple in the air in front of you. Um, it's it's right. When you close your eyes and you lie in the sun, you get that. You particularly get that sparkle of
The Light Queen.
yeah. This is a very, very, very thin shadow of that, but it's still kind of the same thing. And there's this nebulous shifting thing in front of you, only about an arm's length tall. And you hear just very faintly the sound of these little, like, bells, the silveriest silver bell. And a voice comes to you in your head. You have traveled far.
Infinis, that doesn't sound like you.
You are twin unborn. What is your name under the sun?
I am Micah.
I am Padanel.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. You're quiet.
Padanel, Padane. And there's a gasp, and you feel, if imagine you're watching like a puddle, and then there you spill some water over here, and this little thin rivulet of water just sort of trying to, and when it touches the puddle, there's a connection. You feel a not unpleasant jolt in your system as some of the energies of this creature reach out and touch the spark of the light queen that lives in you.
Oh,
And
hello.
the thing flares for a moment. You are a servant of the queen.
I am one of the most faithful, if not
Rejoice,
best.
rejoice, rejoice. We are unforgotten. We are found. We are found.
We?
We have been here a long time. We 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 had, and then we lost, and then we had, and then we lost, and we are the only ones that we have had to talk to. We are Padanel. What where do you call home?
The Pale Brother.
Ah, so far. So far. But yes, but yes, we must. We must.
Do you hail from there as well? Are you a Mahina?
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. I once served the Light Queen as you do. I served it here. I served her here.
Micah tenses up a little bit.
Okay. I had a family. We had a family. We kept them safe and warm and in the light. And then they were gone. And we were alone. So alone. But
Unfortunately,
now,
it does not. The rays of the Pale Brother and the Light Queen do not hit this area quite as well. It's such a shame.
I have not heard the voice of the Queen in an age and an age and an age. But we are together now. We will find the home. We will find it.
Are you a spirit, if I may ask?
Yes. Yes. We are.
I'll be right back. Micah, without like their first thought, jumps up and give me just a minute and starts running back towards the party to find Revan.
Uh, Revan is under
Party's
the
the wrong place to go.
Yeah, Revan's under the weather, or at least under something. We'll just call it the weather. And
Micah doesn't know that.
Yeah. So,
Hey, have you guys seen Revan?
If I remember right, I believe last I saw him, he was in a bucket of sorts, being carried by one of the lovely centaurs around here towards, I think, that tent. And to the best of my recollection, we'll point to the correct tent.
Shadow leans over and goes, Center? I hardly know her.
Micah's gonna run off towards the tent.
yeah. Oh, by the way,
who taught you that?
By the way, the rest of you, if you're interested in, any shenanigans with the centaurs, you gotta be careful. I had a cleric once who was dating a centaur, and he was getting serious. It turned out she was just
Oh no.
horsing around.
Can we get me a table and a stool tall enough that I can arm wrestle some of these guys and gals?
Sure, why not?
The party watches Urkthor get, thrown into the woods.
I know a fellow predator when I see one. I want to learn from them.
They
The
actually
methods
don't
they used to hunt.
They don't really do arm wrestling. What they'll do is they'll grab hands and then try to knock the other one over. And they've got a mass bone benefit on you. So, but the fact that you wanted to try, you see a couple of the youngsters doing that, you're like, yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, the fact that you were even willing to try, they're like, this Urkthor guy, he's pretty all right. Yeah, give him some more commiss, for his sins. All right, so you go barreling over toward the tent, Micah, and
not just barreling over. Micah, if Revan is not outside, Micah's just gonna go inside.
Yeah, there's a gatekeeper to that.
I need to see Revan, please.
Revan is unconscious.
That's okay.
But don't try to wake him. He's.
I just need him. I don't need to wake him. I can just carry him.
No. No. That's not. No. He's resting. You don't.
Can I tell you a secret? And Micah's gonna lean in.
Yeah.
It's Pale Brothers. It's part of my ceremony. He's kind of necessary.
He's kind of unconscious.
Are you gonna ruin my ceremony and ritual?
Delia, you're talking to Delia, by the way, and she cares so little about your ritual. If you could work the phrase "rat's ass" in there somehow.
Oh wait, Delia's the gatekeeper.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Micah's walking past her. He does not care about her.
No, you are not. No, she will manhandle you out of the tent if you try to.
I will.
Can I prop
wrestle her to the
this
ground.
by
I do
trying
not
to
care.
make friends with Delia by just incessantly tugging on her pant leg? And I try to distract her so that Micah can do his shenanigans.
Are we going to retcon this that you saw this was going to happen and decided to run interference, Shadow, or?
Oh, no. I looked over, I happened to see Micah Poe trying to get in and being denied, and I was like, I can entertain myself.
Gotcha. Do me a favor. Do you have any, like, applicable, I don't know, is there anything that you can think of to do to get her attention? Oh, yeah, there might be. Okay, give me, just off the top of my head, give me a quick roll there, Shadow.
And then when I get a chance, I am interested in
No,
learning some of the ways of the centaurs. I can
I don't know
recognize
why
a
it
fellow
rolled that
predator.
3 times, but the first one was a 9, so we're
I
going to go with
saw
the 9.
I saw that. Sumac, you're on deck. Just 1 second. Okay, so while Delia is sort of, dancing in front of, pushing, Shadow zips into the tent to draw attention, which works. Okay, so now Delia is trying to, leave him alone. He's trying to sleep. He's already thrown up twice. Please leave him alone. Okay, so while that's
I start shaking him violently.
and then he does his best fountain impersonation. Yes.
Is he not in the recovery pose?
Yes, put him in the recovery.
What is the recovery pose?
Oh,
Wait,
Are you actually not aware?
Is it right?
For which
It's-
event?
It's the right side, so that if you puke, you don't ask for it. Which I don't even know.
It's either side. It's an arm around the head, and then the other one
Yeah.
laying out.
Yeah,
He's in the
Neither
Peter
been nor
Griffin death
drag
pose.
somebody that drunk.
It's part of first aid.
Revan, I have something for you.
Oh, for me?
A gift.
Ooh, I like gifts. What good gift?
give me a tough roll there, Rev.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. My experience. Yeah, he passes right the hell out. He's just gone. Yeah. Whatever his limits were, he has exceeded them. All right. So you do have an unconscious body. Now Deli is getting a little steamed. All right. But while that's happening, Sumac, what are you doing?
I am going to talk to some of the centaurs. I want to learn their ways of the hunt, because I can recognize a fellow predator, and this is a whole tribe of them.
Yeah. Well, long story short, you get into a very long and detailed conversation. And turns out you have quite a few things in common. They have a lot stronger sense of smell, than most sentient folk. You don't know if that happened before or after the Godfall. But and they do kind of a modified pursuit predator. They find something they want, they chase it until it gets tired, and then they fill it full of arrows. So very, very similar tactics and strategies.
And then I'd wanted to know if there's any ways specifically the dread bow is used, contrary to what lesser folk might use.
Oh, yeah. Well, you figured this out when you fired it the first time. You need a thumb ring because you don't. Okay, regular bow, you grab and you pull the string to you, not a recurve. You hook the thumb ring or by the cord and you push it away from you, and then let it go because you can't exert enough. It's got to be like that, and packs a really mean punch. So there is that. And they look over your bow and arrows. They're very impressed with the ghoul.
The ghoul claws.
Oh, they're like, ghoul. Oh, you hunt this yourself? Yeah, you did. Oh, check her out. Yeah, she hunted ghouls and stuff. Ooh, We thought you were just another pretty face. All right, yeah, get hunted. And then, of course, you tell them that story, probably. Yeah, so they're like, oh, that's pretty frickin'. Oh, and Urkthor, he did what? He took on 3 of them by himself? Jeez.
He stood in their way.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to get dead most of the time, huh? Wow. Okay, so mumble, mutter. Okay, so yes, gosh, we're all really impressed down here, I can tell you. All right, so, meanwhile, back at the tent, so Revan is passed out. Delia is kind of ignoring the 2 of you and is trying to shovel Revan back into the bed and make sure he doesn't aspirate.
Listen, Delia, listen. Revan needs to come with me because I want to show him that the Light Queen's spirit can be the most powerful if he just accepts them.
And I'm sure he'll listen to your religious diatribe when he's conscious. Can you leave? Look at him. Look at him. He's not up for anything. Okay?
yeah.
He says, look at him. I go back to violently shaking him.
You're going to hurt him. Okay? Please.
Yeah.
don't.
No,
Please.
because if
Look. And Delia pulls out this copper ring, really, polished to within inches, like so shiny. She goes, look.
I
throws
chase
out
it.
Oh, yeah.
I chase it like a laser pointer. I'm out the tent.
Okay.
if
Micah.
Revan, no, you're gonna listen because Revan likes spirits and everything. And while I don't agree with his spirit choice, there's one that worships the Light Queen that is available to him. I don't know if it's gonna be here from how long it's gonna be here or if it's gonna continue being here. So I'm here for Revan to both help Revan and the spirit find a home.
Where did you find the spirit?
That's not your concern.
Was there anything with it?
Also not your concern.
Now you're going to listen to me, since I was nice enough to listen to you. Is the moon always overhead?
No. But where
Sometimes it's overhead, sometimes it's not.
yes, but when the
'Cause
Pale Brother fails,
It would be
that's where the
weird.
Light Queen comes in.
It would be weird if the moon was just always there. So one might even say, everything has a time, everything has a purpose. Sometime time isn't right. If you wanted to go out and look at the moon and it wasn't there, would you give up? No, you'd wait for the appropriate time. This ain't it. Okay? Please leave. You are in my tent. Please leave.
No,
Oh, it's her tent, huh?
it is not your tent. And frankly, I believe you are just an extension of our party. You're not part of our party. I didn't see you go and risk your life like everyone else. My party members mean a lot to me, and this will mean a lot to Revan.
Delia is looking at you in a way that you're not.
Right now, both the blue and the red side of Micah are not like vibrant, but they're both glowing.
Okay.
Micah, as if Micah is calm, but not budging.
Okay. Do what you will. He won't thank you. And she leaves.
In the meantime, I'm gonna start grilling him about arrow construction and fletching and
Oh yeah.
all the stuff. See if I can get something out of that.
Yeah, you run into like the 3 crafters in the group and you're just like, oh, I used to use pine tar, but no. You've got to bury that and you've got to like get it you got to get it hot, okay, but no air because it's just bad. It's like, oh, I love those arrows. Oh, this old thing, No, so you're just completely geeking out on the whole Boyer Fletcher thing over
And then
there.
how you can use the utility belt that Micah made as a quiver in different areas, so you have all of the stuff. It's like the Batman belt,
Wonderful.
pockets all over the place.
Yeah, the kids find you, Shadow. You're apparently the most approachable of this motley crew, And again,
Naturally.
they're kids, so you're teaching them how to smoke cigars and swear, basically. You're doing all the reindeer games, and you're a big hit in the 14 and under crowd.
I'm
All right.
still somehow half of all of their heights.
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. But you're just their fun bird friend. Oh, and then they all want you to like mimic them. Hey, hey, can you do? And of course you can. So anyway, anybody else doing anything?
I mean, besides
Micah.
Micah trying to get.
Yeah,
Oh,
Micah,
yeah.
how are you proceeding?
Revan is Revan passed out, or is Revan just like beyond incoherent?
He's
Not going to remember a thing.
he's about 2 drinks away from alcohol poisoning. So
Oh, nice.
not
So-
not doing great.
I can tell these guys have good quality craft when it comes to their stuff.
hmm
And they've got the thicker, bigger arrows for the dread bow. The stuff that was launched at me earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
They're fairly heavy duty.
I may take my do jingle from the bird to see if I can buy a few of the bigger ones. When you look at me, I can squawk at you now too.
Oh, that's funny. I forgot that you could
Stop
buy-
looking at my jingle coin purse.
Well,
actually,
we've had a couple of deals now, and I noticed I haven't gotten any. So if I were to do the math, where would that
Well-
have gone?
Anything except my shinies. My shinies. I'll steal
I'm sure
Earthsore's knife for you.
Okay. I'm gonna sand polish one of these caltrops and offer it in exchange. It's
Actually,
pointy and shiny.
okay. Tell me when you're talking to the centaurs again.
Mhm.
Okay, so they'll do you one better. They'll trade you 1 for 1 for the ghoul tip arrows.
Cool tip arrows. Okay.
And if you have any time tomorrow before everybody wakes up from the revels, they'll show you how to make them.
Okay, I can barter. I will give them the 1 ammo of the 1 piercing I have.
Okay.
I have a
perfect.
1 and a 2 piercing. I kind of want to keep the 2 piercing, but
Good call. Oh, and those don't stack. The bow hits hard enough that anything you fire is a 1 piercing, but if you're
Okay.
using the ghoul tips, it's only 2, it's not 3. Okay. So
yeah.
Micah, what's
So the
going
1
on?
piercing wouldn't make it any more piercing in this case.
Correct.
Got it. So I'll erase that.
Micah's gonna
Trading.
pop the head out of the tent real quick and see if there's any of the what are they called? The centaurs nearby.
It's a party. Yeah, they're all over the place.
They're gonna find just the nearest one that they can talk to. Hey, you, can you possibly help me with something real quick?
Certainly. You've got a young-ish female, 20-ish, 20 something.
Unfortunately, my friend is a little bit heavier than I can carry, but I kind of need him for my ritual. Do you think you would be able to help move him?
For the servant of the queen and yeah, sure. So she follows you over and again wants some very clear we want us to pick up the inebriated
Yes. Pick up the
And-
inebriated Revan
and get
and
him-
walk to the where I was.
that's it. Just do you want to bring anything for him to lie on or anything? Kind of
No.
comfy.
Listen, the ground is soft.
Okay.
I
And
slept
then-
on the ground all the time as a child.
All right. So she scoops up her face name is Kala. And Kala scoops up Revan and carefully follows you over to the quiet spot, leans him up against the wallish cliff. And anything else?
No, that'll be it. Thank you, Kala.
All right. Be well, Micah. And she leaves. What do you do?
I'm gonna go back to what I was doing when the spirit first appeared and
Mhm.
kind of go back to setting up my little ritual
Mhm.
area.
There's something on your offer. Looks like a big pile of leaves.
A big pile of leaves, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were placed there or like they blew onto it?
It's a little regular to be blown on, and there isn't any wind.
Spirit, if you're, I don't remember the spirit's name. Did we go over that? I don't know if we went,
Padanel.
I don't think we went over that.
Padanel.
Oh, we did. Padanel, are you here?
Oh, oh, Trixie, Trixie. And the pile of leaves unfolds into twigs and sticks. Ah, when is a spirit not a spirit? When it has fled. Fled. Such a
Fled where?
Padanel isn't available right now. Is there anything I can help you with?
Micah has a rage in their eyes right now. With
Wait,
one
wait,
specific person in mind.
wait, something's wrong with my eyebrows. I don't have any eyebrows. I think I need a hug.
Oh, I'm not mad at you. Don't worry.
Well, why did you steal Padanel's things? She's
I,
very concerned. She's very concerned.
what do you mean?
She's beside herself, and he splits into two piles of
What do you,
leaves.
hold on, what do you mean? Padanel's things are sitting right next to the ritual stuff.
Right, but her spot is over here. She likes that. She likes a hearth.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
Oh, you said a hearth? I can make a hearth.
Ooh, she'll like that. Yeah, yeah. Put it back. Put it back. And he
Micah is going to
shuffles
put
up.
it up there. Is there a candle or anything, like, or a fireplace or anything?
Now that you look, there's a little like charred sticks under there, like somebody made a little fire.
Okay. What would it be? Heartblade to make a little fire?
It's a power stunt. You can just say you've made a fire.
I make a little fire.
Okay. All right. And now that twinkle is back, the glow. And now it's suffusing the whole little area there. And you hear the little bell-like laughter. Ah, the servant of the queen has returned. Rejoice, rejoice, faithful ones, rejoice.
I told you I would return. And
Yes.
I brought what hopefully might help. I unfortunately can't take you into myself as I think it's a little crowded already. Um,
Crowded,
my
crowded.
companion, yeah,
This one has many that follow with him. This one has a crowd, a throng. This one moves.
this one would be
Not a This is not a hearth. This one is not a hearth. This one is not a hearth. This is a trap. This is a tinker. This is a merchant, a peddler.
that is true, but this is a
I told
companion of mine.
I told you, but did you listen? No. Shh.
My my thought was if you would be willing to join my companion, at least for a little bit, that you could show him the way of the Light Queen and the Pale Brother, the way, the true gods, the best spirits are
Have
the
you
ones that
traveled?
worship.
Have you traveled with this one
I have for many times, and
for a
while
long
I
time?
don't for many a time, many a days,
Then
many
why
a time.
doesn't he know already?
Yeah, he's kind of dumb. He has many spirits, but I don't think he's experienced what the best kind of spirits would be. I've tried explaining it many times, but if you don't have the Light Queen's embrace, how would you know what it feels like?
I can assist him, but I need words.
I didn't catch that last part.
I can assist him, but I need you to say the words.
And what words would you need me to say?
Ask me, please, if I would help your friend.
Will you please help my friend? I really want him to discover the Light Queen, and I think it'll be beneficial you'll be able to interact with me more and feel the embrace of Light Queen, and we can take you away from this place. We can take you into the actual Light Queen's embrace outside of this dusty desert.
All right. So the light coalesces around you, Revan. You're not aware of that. You come to consciousness with two strong realizations. One, you are completely sober. You're probably more sober than you've ever been in your whole life. Your brain works perfectly. You feel very refreshed, actually. It's like you had a really, really good night's sleep, very pleasant dreams. Um, you had this one where Delia was fighting Shadow and Micah for your body. Maybe died. I don't know. It's a weird dream. Anyway, but yeah, you feel fantastic. The second realization is that you really have to go to the bathroom. I mean, it's dire. Okay. Um, and the third realization is that there's a spirit here that you don't know. Actually, one that you've met and one that you haven't. So, what do you do?
Oh, wait a... Hold up. Hold up. Checks the ground around me. Am I on the altar?
No. So if you can imagine sort of a half circle space over to the side, there's this tiny little hearth
Okay.
kind of a thing. You're leaned up against one of the walls. The ground is not particularly soft, and you are under the regard of Micah, that Fey spirit that you bumped into the other day, and a new one, very bright, pretty energy. Your sheep goes.
Oh, oh. Wait, what am I... Micah, were you trying to sacrifice me or something?
What? No, I would never sacrifice you. I only sacrifice metals and things that the Light Queen likes, and you are full of things she does not.
No, I only sacrifice things that are important to me. Yes. Anything I can't do without. Nope, 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 no, no, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah.
That's funny.
Nice.
Oh, what? How long did I sleep?
I don't know. You just kind of you were taking a nap while riding the horsey, and then you came here. The female, you seem to tire the female out quite a lot.
I don't quite remember this, but...
Okay. Out there.
Eh,
All right. All right. So, after some careful questioning, you're Micah seems to have found another spirit and really, 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 really wants you to talk to her. What do you do?
Well, hello, I get, and I'm gonna scan for I'm gonna use my whatever witch site and be like, where spirit?
Yes. To your witch site, based on the fact that you've dealt with a lot of different kinds of spirits, if you had to guess, uh, Padanel is probably celestial. And since she claims some knowledge of the Light Queen, probably, probably a hanger on to the pantheon that used to exist in this place. Yeah. Give me a sharp roll.
Padanel, meet Revan. Revan, Padanel.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah. So you have just in a brief conversation, Padanel was probably a hearth spirit. She was probably like a household guardian. She'll tell you she misses the people she used to take care of about 84 times in a single conversation. So that's not hard data to trip over. And she's quite wary of you. Probably because you've got a bunch of attendant spirits, one of whom is also celestial, which is a little confusing. But she's interested enough to have a conversation.
Why, hello, appear to be a house spirit of some kind, I am, Revan Tribender, and what might your name be?
I don't know. Conjure with it, and it will go.
It's a wonder to meet you, and how did you, meet Micah here? We seem to be, tries to gauge the altar, not sure where we are now, but...
The horse folk leave me milk and grain. It's something.
Ah, okay,
The-
okay.
The stone one here who carries the spark of the Light Queen. They wanted me to meet you.
Well, this is a pleasure to meet you. I would figure one would get tired of wheat and grain all of the time,
Just a moment, guys. I'll be right back.
okay.
Well,
How about
we-
a little
we
welcome gift? And I'm gonna fish around in my bag and pull out the fine bottle of whiskey I've had on myself the entire time.
Fine bottle of whiskey.
And you
Oh.
didn't
No.
share?
I figured I heard somebody.
It's exclusively for spirits.
She does
Makes
not
sense.
seem.
But
She does not. She does not seem interested.
Yes, you're not muted.
Sorry.
Oh, not quite your taste then. If blood's more your taste, I can try that one. You quite likes that one a lot.
It's again hint celestial. Celestial.
Just woke up, okay?
Oh no, you feel fantastic.
Well,
Micah would like to use Heartblade.
What are you just sparking it up?
I want the 3 chakrams in the Light Queen's logo.
Gotcha. When the fire sparks up, yeah. So thrown and near, and you get an extra one, correct?
I do get an extra one. I just want close and remove the dangerous tag.
Oh, okay. If you want to throw them, you got to take the thrown one.
I know I know I have to take the thrown one if I want, but these aren't for
Oh, this is
weapons.
just
These are
display
for
purposes.
would these suffice? And offering the little
Okay.
Light Queen.
Bramblethorn takes this opportunity to bug out, not interested in displays of holy power. Hadanel is interested and like dances if you like hold one out, like dances around it, like someone enjoying themselves on a beach on an extended vacation.
Am I
Like
able to
this-
set one on the ground, or does it go out the second I let go?
We can say you can set it on the ground. Yeah, and she appreciates that, but that's not a suitable offering like Revan is do. What else you got?
well, as I normally ask, if I was to meet you, I'd ask, well, what do you wish for? What is many latent desires? Some of my spirits wish for food, some are simply looking for a chance to move around, explore. What desires does one have?
Family used to light candles.
Candles. Do not have... Don't have candles, but I can do, I will cast, prestidigitation. And I will do fairy fire lights.
time out. Do you have any adventuring gear?
No.
Ouch. Okay. Um, who gave you the fairy fire, or who gave you the prestidigitation spell?
That would be Trix, my fae.
Yeah. Nope.
I have adventuring gear. Are you looking for something?
She's
Did
not invisible.
Candles would seem to ease our friend
um
here.
oh candles are a great part of like my rituals and stuff. I might have some in my bag.
Okay. If you do, you have 10 of them and mark off a use. By the way, folks, any observing game masters, adventuring gear will save you every single last shopping trip to town session. Look into it. All right. And speaking of our viewing audience, we're currently pushing 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard, coming up an hour and a half into session. Let's wrap up the situation with Padanel, and then we'll be taking a 10-minute break. So yes, so you do have candles.
Apologies for that. I was not expecting company.
Oh good. How many candles would you like? I only have 10 left in my bag.
Well, usually fives I like is a nice number. We can form a nice star shape of a kind.
Okay. Uh the Micah lies out all the candles in front
Okay.
for Revan to take whatever.
I'm gonna lay them out, and then I'm going to start using, I think it's, what's the feature called? Hold on. Communion. I will start using communion, which means, generally makes spirits happier, and if I do a pact roll, I get a bonus.
Okay. So, little power stunt there. I see. Tell me if I'm wrong. I see Revan gesture with his wooden hand, and all the candles spring to life. And your communion, is that a roll, or is that just oh, okay, beautiful.
Just an effect.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So yes, you have set the table, and Padanel is willing to discuss things with you further. Um, so with that, let's take a little 10-minute bio, and we'll head back to see how this rolls out. All right. So count us out there, Revan, and we'll catch you all on the flip side. Well,
Uh,
And we're back. Hey, thanks, faithful viewer, for showing up again for these wonderful hijinks. All right, so we've got Padanel, the celestial spirit, warily talking to Revan. What is everybody else doing currently? The rebels are starting to die down. Again, Urkthor, you've made some bro buddies over here who think, hey,
Let's go.
for a small, puny little two-legged dude, you're not all bad. Hey, all right, we'll eat you last. Yeah. So, and again, Shadow's making buddies with the 14 and under contingent. Sumac is stuck in deep with the techno crowd, making stuff, burning stuff,
yeah.
and blowing stuff up. Cool.
And I'm
Yeah.
showing them how it's not feathers, but I use Sidewinder's shed as the fletching.
Oh, yeah. One of the Fletchers will if you've got any like a bag of those lying around, we'll trade many
That's
things for that.
a very large snake, so I'm sure I have some of that.
Sure.
We could make a trade on that.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So, Micah, what are you doing? You have made the introductions between Revan and Spirit. What do you do?
Micah's just sitting there waiting patiently.
Okay.
They're kind of setting up their little sacrifice
Okay.
ritual while also like paying vigilant attention to make sure that they're there to
Gotcha.
ease Padanel's mind if they get antsy.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and let's finish out that ritual.
All right.
Give me just 10 seconds, boss.
Me. My ritual.
Give me give me a cool roll there. Okay.
You said cool?
Please. Oh. Okay, mark experience. You do everything right. You do everything right. You say all the words, and the sacrifice smolders and bursts into flame, and the smoke rises up, and you're not feeling it. You don't feel oddly, when the smoke crests up over the top of this like low rise, in a column, it just pivots 90-degree turn and heads back into camp. Oddly. So you chase that one down when you want. All right, so Revan, are you at the point where you're going to try and make a pact roll with this thing?
I would like to, with the dialogue of, I will extend my non-wooden arm and say, I think I know a way we can at least work together until we become friends in a more natural way. You appear to be a home, you want a hearth. I can try to help you find a more permanent and loving home to protect.
Whoa.
That would
All right.
suit your desires. Does that sound agreeable?
It would. So go ahead and give me a pact roll.
All right.
I'll tell you if you have any bonuses or penalties. Excuse me.
And then I should have a minus from the fact that I have an infernal spirit and celestials. Actually, I think celestials
yes.
don't like any non-celestial spirits I have.
Correct.
And
Correct.
then, but I gain a bonus because of the candles and the conjuring circle. So those null each other out.
Okay.
Am I able to proper drop as well since I'm here trying to ease the tensions of the spirit?
Well, he's currently sitting on a 7. Unless you could get it up to a 10. No. I mean, it wouldn't do anybody any favors. All right. So you and Padanel come to an understanding. Padanel will show you how to do a spell. The spell is called.
Oh wait a minute. That should actually be a 10. In the pact thing, I accidentally have quick selected instead of sharp for some reason.
Interesting. Okay. So
There's a +3 that isn't being applied.
Gotcha. So call stands. She'll give you the spell, and she'll travel with you with the understanding that let's see. You're going to have to find her a hearth. You're going to have to find her a family to be with. That's part of the deal. Um, and
And for the
she's gonna
meantime, they can be the hearth that warms our camp.
yes. She's gonna revisit this in about a month, see how you're doing toward the finding a forever home kind of a thing. Um, but so subject to other negotiations in the future. All right, so here is the Homely Hearth spell. It is a first level spell that you cast during making camp. When you cast it, you decide the effect. Either everyone gets a +1 preparation, which is bolster. Basically, they get a +1 bonus to add to any of their rolls in a session. Peaceful Night, so that no one needs to take a watch, or Wounds Knit. Everyone heals an additional 1d6 hit. So you can decide that every time you cast it. So that is provided to you. She is a celestial spirit. Her interest is home and hearth, obviously. She views with disfavor long journeys. She likes candles, food, and her petition is self-sacrifice. So here is how to know. So in chat, boom, and yes. So this is a short-term lease with an option to renew. All right. So anybody else doing anything tonight? The party has wound down.
I'm bartering with the craftsman.
Yes, yes. So you can hammer that out between now and morning. Anybody else doing anything?
As things start to die down, I'm gonna take some special notice to eye out the different maybe sub factions of the locals. Try to figure out if everyone is try to get a read on everybody to see if okay, is everyone accepting us as a part of the tribe? Is there a small faction of people who may be eyeing us warily and might not be ready to accept us fully yet? Potentially look for okay, is we've met the chief. Does there seem to be any like power rivals to the chief in the tribe? With it being a social function, I figured this would be a decent time to do some of that.
Yeah. Oh no, there's lots of stuff going on. Go ahead, give me an observe. Oh, let's see, would it be observe or scrutiny? Let me give me an observe roll.
Alrighty, we can do that.
I called those big arrows impact arrows for bigger things, if that's suitable.
I've got a 9.
9. So, let's see. That gives you one question.
One question.
Sounds like either useful or informational, or what you should be looking out for.
Ooh, well,
Other
I
note,
feel like. Oh yeah, go ahead.
we've been forgetting to take one forward when we act on those answers. We've been doing a lot of acting on answers, but forgot about the one forward.
Okay. Good on you. So, question.
I think. What should I be looking out for? AKA, who here is not so thrilled that we're a part of the tribe?
Gotcha. All right.
If there is any.
It doesn't. Basically, it boils down to older versus younger. Um, the
Okay.
older ones are, traditional, and but they're kind of, well, what did the lawgiver say? Well, he said that it was okay, and they're probably not going to survive it anyway. Har har har. It's just like, okay, you did all the things, you passed the trials, you know, and then the fact that Mike is kind of their own thing, and has been enthusiastically embraced by the religious contingent. Um, and you've got the warriors like, yeah, how bad can he be? We we hit him with sticks and he just walked through us like, oh, it's like, I didn't think he could do. Did you think a little guy like that? I didn't think I hit you across the face with that whip, and I thought that was it. I thought you'd be like, I'm out, but no. Yeah, and so again, you see, Shadow flapping by, being chased by a herd of little ones. Sumacs over there, well actuallying with the rest of the contingent. It's You're not seeing a lot of hate. It's at worst, it's like, we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah, these guys, they gotta,
Mhm.
they'll mess up sometime, and then we'll eat them, kind of a thing. But
Mhm.
nobody's like, yeah, you don't get a lot of that. It's not a particularly big group anyway.
No one's looking to use us for political gain yet.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing obvious. All right. So,
And then lastly, with that, similarly, like you said, I saw Shadow run by and whatever. I want to make sure I check in on everyone else in the party before I retire for the night.
okay. Everybody seems to be doing okay. Um, the impression you get is Shadow and those youngsters are all going to sleep like a rock tonight. Oh my gosh. They're
I
just,
will say, the first couple passes of Shadow running by, Shadow looks like they're having fun.
oh,
A couple of passes later, there seems to be some slight fear that perhaps this is a real chase.
yeah. And Urkthor has time to get worried until the next time Shadow is chasing them. They're like, ah, the bird thing's gonna get me. Ah,
Wielding 2
ah.
knives.
Exactly. 4,
Don't steal my knife!
Yes.
It's a
Hey,
fork and a knife,
Checks the belt,
actually.
make sure that it's still there.
is that my knife? It's not. Yeah.
At least you
So,
don't think it is.
But like, I
so
find Sumac, I find
yeah,
everyone.
strangely, you're looking around, a plume of smoke comes up over this low, like, cliff type thing, and then drifts over in an odd column and grounds itself around the altar. It looks like a very heavy metal go
Out of
type
curiosity,
effect.
at what point did the plume of smoke come? Was it when the hair was burned, the bow, or the target, or did it all go up in smoke at the same time?
It all went up at once. Like you, I mean, I'm assuming that's what you intended. So, all right.
Yes.
So, you're starting to get worried about Micah and Revan, and they come back. Revan is either talking to himself or talking to someone you can't see. Um, Flip a coin. Which one's more likely? And Micah, what are you doing?
Micah doesn't really have any plans and everything. They're kind of looking out for the smoke plume that they saw come this way, but also they're looking to see if Delia is trying to lurk nearby.
You don't see Delia. As you're looking around for the smoke, you think you smell it over toward the big altar, the one that's got the blood encrusted down the side. Um, Revan, you're headed back toward your tent, um, and you bump into Delia outside, who says, "Your friend didn't want me to be in there with you." So, are you all right?
Surprisingly, yes. For some reason, my drink is no longer affecting me, unfortunately.
You don't even smell drunk. Huh. Well, are you tired?
Only a little. We can work on that a bit more, though.
After you. All right. So, Micah, you're standing over by the altar, and yeah, it smells very smoky here. You can't see it, but it's just like it's steeped in and around. Um, you're looking at it. There's grooves and rills cut into this wide basalt slab. And you think you see like a trickle of smoke just slide up one of these channels and into the rock itself.
Gotta teach him about fraternizing with the enemy.
Are
Someone's gonna
any Urkthor, are you there, or what were you guys up to? What was everyone else up to?
I was looking around for people, so chances are, by the time I saw you, I'd probably walk up to say, "Hey, how you doing? What you guys up to? You guys ready to retire? Think you're ready for the labyrinth? Yada yada. Small talk."
I'm in the middle of an intense bartering session with the clan craftsman.
Oh no, you do pretty well on that. So figure out what you want, figure out what you're willing to give up, and make an
Well,
appropriate
I
trade.
don't know what they have.
Mostly, the basically they'll trade you one ammo for one ammo of whatever you got. What do you have in the way of jingle?
The bird has it.
Well, that's going to limit your options significantly.
Mostly I'm bartering the snakeskin at this point.
Oh.
The shed.
Okay. Yeah, you can get an extra ammo worth of the big arrows. What'd you call them?
Impact.
Yes, impact arrows. For some materials.
I'll take that.
Okay. After that, everybody starts heading to bed. Okay, so yeah, Urkthor, everybody seems to be doing pretty okay.
Hey, Urkthor, I've never seen. Do rocks normally absorb smoke here? Is
As
it
far
is it
as
is it like eating like me?
most rocks, in my experience, do not eat. In most cases, I've seen smoke rises. If it is indeed smoke, sometimes you have fog, but fog's a different matter altogether. Can make a pretty good cover when you're trying to go in and out of a fight, but uh, that smoke did. You're talking about the smoke that came out of that little hut over there earlier?
Yeah, it was supposed to go to the Light Queen
I noticed it go
and the Pale
towards
Brother.
the altar over there, if I can recall correctly, which I assumed was something. I don't understand all of the mysticals and magics and patrons and all that, but my guess was either your offering went to a stronger altar to try to make it farther, or something to do with that altar over there might have interfered with whatever you were doing in the tent over there. How did your offering go?
It went well. Well, it went okay. Can I do an observe roll on this thing, on this altar?
Tell me what you're wanting to know, and I'll tell you what role would be appropriate.
Does it glisten?
Does it listen?
Yes. Does this altar glisten?
It appears to be pretty dry. I feel like I'm not answering the question you're asking.
Does the altar sparkle?
Oh, no, not like you. Nope. No, this is apparently not a moon shard. This is basalt. Dark gray. Very, very hard.
I would still like to do an observe roll then, just to get a feel for.
Okay, so you're gonna
I-
inspect.
I want to
the
inspect
altar.
this altar more in detail. Now that I assume there's still centaurs around, but it's not crowded. There's probably
Oh no.
I imagine there's a couple just kind of meandering.
Yeah, it's late. Most of them have gone off to go to sleep. Okay, question.
What here is what appear. What here is not what it appears to be.
Oh. Okay, so you're inspecting this massive altar. The echoes of thousands of sacrifices being echoing through it. So it's like a bell that hasn't stopped ringing. It's more of a thrum. And the feeling you get is that this is some kind of storage. You know a little bit about their religion. They sacrifice for the restoration of Pale Brother. They are praying and trying and sacrificing and throwing all of their energies into restoring the spear, a worthy and admirable goal. The impression you get is there's some sort of containment here. They're like it's like they're saving up all the energy for one big thing, which hasn't happened yet. So you think when you offered up the prayer and to the celestial powers that be, you think the battery over here sucked up the energy, basically. And now that you look, like, feel around, make yourself sensitive to the energies. Yeah, it's in there. It's a little thread in there.
Micah's gonna just pat it twice. You'll get there. You'll get to your location and goal eventually. Once the Pale Brother's restored.
So, nothing to be concerned about, Micah?
Unclear.
Yes, that's an awful lot of blood on that altar. Whew.
Yeah, but it's they're trying to they're doing their worship their way, no different than how you and I do worship. You worship combat and praise, and I obviously worship my Pale Brother and Light Goddess. But
That I do.
while we may not agree with their customs, they're trying for a goal.
Yep. It just if the things you kill give energy to something, or the sacrifices you make go somewhere, you just want to make sure it's going to the right place. It'd be a real concern if it doesn't. And
It doesn't right now, but I think it might. I think it might actually. I think it'll get there eventually.
That's
And
good.
This altar, in my opinion, is not our biggest concern right now.
Good to know.
All right. So, in absence of anybody else. Oh, sorry, shut up.
Really quick, I rejected your request for jingle earlier. However, I have this rotten foot in my backpack, and I also have some pipeweed, neither of which I've personally found much use for, and I was wondering if I might be able to give them to Sumac, and if she might be able to trade them for more ammo.
A rotten foot and pipeweed.
And pipeweed.
What do you think a plant is going to do with more plant matter?
Hey.
Trade it.
Trade it to the animals.
I mean, hey, the rotten foot, that's still meat.
Have you ever heard of getting high as a horse?
No.
So, on that note, if you offer the pipeweed and the foot to your mechanical buddies here, the pipeweed, yes, they do have some interest in. They're familiar with various euphoric stimulants, depressants, etc. So they're always up for something new. The rotten foot, yeah, thanks. We'll find a nice place to bury that. It's gross. Strangely preserved.
Well, in that case, I will take my rotten foot back. How dare you?
Hey, that's a nice rotten foot you got there. This old thing. All right. So yes, you do have your rotten foot. It's not even a rotten foot. It's like desiccated. It's like It's like,
You've got a mummy foot.
yeah, exactly. Yes, perfect. Yes, mummy foot.
Jerky.
We hope
Yeah.
it was preserved that well.
Yep, just like your mummy used to make. That's 3. Okay,
You
so
stop.
okay, so the night passes uneventfully. You all wake refreshed. Revan with a few bruises he didn't start out with. And again, you were interested in going to the labyrinth. So a couple of self-appointed guides will take you there at your request. It's not far, not particularly difficult. Any preparation you want to do? Oh, they do top off your food and drink. If you're down any water, down any rations, you can top those off at your leisure. Magda travels with the guides, and she's telling you about stuff along the way. The stories say in my grandmother's 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 time that we were tasked to be the first guardians of the labyrinth. The thing inside, um, the stories have been. We had a lawgiver die well before his time, before his acolyte could be fully trained, and the stories were lost. So we don't know what it is. The stories do speak of guardians within the labyrinth, and that the labyrinth is kind of has a mind of its own. And any of you pathfinders, trackers, scouts know this. It's never the same way twice. Magic behaves a bit differently in there, so don't count on any effect working the way you want them to. Some of the older stories speak of places of shelter and respite within, because sometimes it takes a while to find what you're looking for, if ever. And beware of the guardian. So, blessings of the Pale Brother and the White Queen on all of you. Good luck. And with that, you come around a hillside, and here is the labyrinth. The labyrinth looks, it's a strange confluence of constructed and just was here. The first thing you see is a absolute fence of basalt columns. Okay, if any of you geology types, basalt naturally forms giant hexagon pillars.
Devil's Post pile.
Yes, there's a bunch of them out there. The Giant's Causeway in Ireland, beautiful.
Hexagons or bestigons?
Yes. So it looks all right. So there is a just a wall of these basalt pillars. They can't be that tall. They just can't. But the impression is that you're standing in front of this cyclopean gates to the underworld. So the basalt pillars come up, and there's an obvious entryway. You see footy prints and hoofy prints that have gone in. And then the walls of the labyrinth are made up of these as well. And as you're stepping forward, 3 of the pillars directly in front of you sink silently into the ground, and 2 others that you weren't really aware there pop up and push out. And you were looking at like an L-shaped intersection. Now you're looking at a straight path that goes forward. It's very dim in here. There's not a lot of light from the height, and it seems strangely misty.
In preparation to hearing that spells might not work nicely inside, I'd like to find a nearby tree or something, and then I'm going to try to summon Nature Elemental to get a
Crack shot.
body blocker. Hopefully.
All right, go ahead and give me a roll.
Could you clarify how that spell works?
Well, hold up. Let me do the thing first, and then I'll pull up description.
Am I gonna have to talk to another elemental?
Okay. Spell works.
It's
At
probably
least
just
you
gonna
didn't
be
piss this
Bramble
one
Sword
off.
again.
So an
and
element
then
creature. Okay. You rolled at what? You rolled a 10?
I've got an 11, and
Oh,
I'm
no.
gonna use my critical spell, and I'm going to maximize the effects, which means the d6 I'm rolling, I rolled a 6.
D6 for what?
Um, with that, though, I will be not
Gotcha.
able to cast this spell until I take a long rest.
Okay, cool. And you are going to be at -1 to cast spells while this is ongoing. Okay, so it does 1d8 damage, has a functioning mind and complete complex tasks, has a useful adaptation. What's the
Armor.
adaptation? Armor, got it. Durable has 2 extra hit points, and talented give 1 stat a +2 modifier.
And that stat will be tough.
Beautiful. So what's your level?
6.
Okay, so it's got 13 hits. That's a fairly sizable elemental. Okay, so basically several of the red trees in the area uproot themselves and start doing sort of a fast growth together kind of a thing until you have a very large basically bipedal plant thing. Arcthor.
Revan? Is this one gonna debate with us philosophy?
No.
Is this one gonna get sand in my britches?
No, this one is going to protect me, and probably Micah.
I don't know. Well, I probably speak plant too.
Does it
That's a rather
listen to
obvious
you?
one.
I would assume so. And I will go over to the whatever, and I go, hello, good elemental. Me and my companions are going to be traveling through this
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
maze before us, and I wish you to defend myself and the rocky one as we travel through it.
Understood.
Is Delia with us?
No.
I believe Delia's not allowed to travel with us because she never took the trial.
Correct. She kisses Revan a tearful goodbye, and please come back to me. Life would not be the same without you. He's just.
We shall return.
Hold me one more time, like it's the last. All right, and then pushes you away before you suffocate.
Makes a quick wink at Ukthor.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you proceed? Oh, let me tell you.
I
how you
would
proceed. Just one moment, please, if I could. All right, for the viewing
this
public.
this is stirring some things. I haven't seen anything with this amount of magic in a long time.
Oh mercy! Yeah, it's seeping out of the stones. All right.
I
First
would
of
like
all,
to see if I know anything, if I've seen anything sort of like this before.
momento por favor. I would like to thank Jason's original Labyrinth, Logan's Swordbreaker, and Ray Otis's Plunder Grounds for inspiring the custom moves for this Labyrinth variant. So, Sumac, what did you want to know?
I want to know if I've seen anything that functions kind of like this.
Okay.
A maze, what I know about what it might do.
Okay, give me a recall.
I know the ley lines, or used to know the ley lines would do some interesting things at centers of confluence
Mm-hmm.
where they'd converge. I wonder if this is one of them.
Give me a recall roll, please.
Okay.
While she's doing that, can I ask something of the guides before they leave?
Sure. 1 second.
No.
Well, the good news is you mark experience. The bad news is you reach for this memory and it's not there. Okay. you can feel the ley energies here. You can feel at least 3 ley lines are converging on this point. Okay, this would be like, hey, what's that city over there in the state? They used to be New Amsterdam. What was that one called? And you just cannot recall anything about New York City. Okay, and the space where it was is blank. You've got everything of this
Oh.
memory up to this and nothing. Like it was cut out with a knife. So mark XP. All right. So Erkthor, your question.
First off, when we were watching pillars move up and down, how quickly do they move up and down?
Are you asking them or are you
No,
just
I was asking from just a recall of when I was watching it happen.
Hard to say. The ones that you were watching just sank into the ground like pistons.
Mhm.
And you turn your head slightly and the 40-foot tall pillars that weren't there a second ago now are. So, and you didn't even see any movement. It was just, oh crap, it's there.
I turned my head, and then when I turn back, it's up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll still ask the question to the guides. I know there's been stories of guardians in the labyrinth. Has there been any stories of something that guards the skies above the labyrinth?
Stories? No. But birds don't fly over it.
Okay. Good to know. Okay.
Anybody else before you brave the attempt?
I don't remember crap, so we're gonna go with observation.
Okay.
Thing that doesn't typically fail me yet.
Okay. So you're just gonna from the outside looking in.
Basically.
Give me a roll.
And what we saw, it move.
Okay.
That's better.
One question.
I can pick one. There's a lot of stuff here. I know there's 3 ley lines here. Who's really in control here?
Good question.
Something like this doesn't just happen typically, as far as I know.
You've got a very nagging feeling that the labyrinth is in control here.
It's its own entity. Okay.
Yeah, and probably you may have heard of some things in, again, bringing distant memory. This might be a test. So the possibility exists that all of you are going to be tested somehow. That's kind of sort of how these things work. But yeah, you don't the control. Yeah, it's its own thing. It's you're literally walking into the mouth of the dragon. So, all right.
So what you're telling me is this thing is alive in a way.
If Micah can be alive and if you can be a cactus person, yes, it is probably fits the same definition of alive.
I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember if you said it or not. The labyrinth, is it open to the sky?
If you look up, it is, but it's very misty and cloudy up there.
Okay, so it's not very bright.
No.
That's all I need to know.
Sourceless light. All right, so what do you do?
Okay. Team huddle time. Before we get in there, because I'd rather team huddle before we run into something than team huddle after we run into something. There's something magical in there we're looking for. No one has successfully no one's ever successfully navigated the labyrinth before? There's no survivors? No one came back but traumatized?
No one's ever lived
Okay.
to tell that they passed it.
Let's put it this way. no one has ever gone to the heart of the labyrinth and come back. From your conversations with the centaurs, they've gone in when this is Nopeville, population me, and got out.
Okay,
But one of the things they stress is the way you go in is not the way you come out because it ain't there.
understood. That's what I was looking for. So
This thing is alive.
it's alive, and orthodox methods of navigation have yet to succeed. So my guess is there are some shamans and more magically innate members of the tribe. They probably tried going towards the center of the strongest magical force before. I want our magically attuned folks. Let's try to find the least magically dense area in the maze. The most magically dense area is probably a trap, especially if the maze itself is alive. Use it as a bait, and then tackle whoever gets to it. And it's not actually what it's guarding. Those of us who have good tracking skills, we want to go anywhere that has not yet been traveled. Because no one successfully made it to what we're looking for. We're looking to go take the path yet to be traveled. I don't think there's going to be any good ways to backtrack, so plan on not leaving any traces necessarily. And aside from that, try to keep all of us on the same hex at the same time. I don't want a wall magically appearing in between two of us when I turn my back and have us separated.
That could be problematic because the hexes are only about as big around as a tree trunk.
Yeah,
I don't think that can be avoided.
So stay huddled then. And also, I'd be very curious to see if it's possible to get on a hex as it travels up. If we could get on top of this maze, it could be if we could get on top of this maze, it could be beneficial, but I don't want to split the party. So these are very tall pillars. If we do get separated, Shadow, we can look into you playing reconnaissance and trying to gap in between potentially. But if we do get split up, at least try to maintain buddy system. Stick to whoever has been split up with you.
I have some rope in my adventuring gear if we want to tie ropes around pairs of us.
I was gonna say Shadow sarcastically offers to hold Sumak's hand.
Oh, Sumac, are you bringing Sidewinder?
Sidewinder doesn't leave my side if he doesn't have to.
Okay.
He doesn't have an issue with holes. Snakes tend to like those.
As for pairs, any volunteer? I do see that there is 5 of us. So Sumac, if you'd like to pair with Sidewinder, that would be acceptable.
I'm used to hunting on my own.
Any volunteers for who'd like to pair up with who?
Shadow just hops onto Urkthor's back.
Okay, and then Revan, you've got your tree spirit.
Out of character, I don't think it's the best idea to stick the two squishiest members together.
They have a tree.
We have an
we
do have a tree.
Okay.
Who is specifically told to guard us two.
I suppose that's true.
And we also hit really hard.
When you hit.
Glass cannon, yes, very much so.
If things start to get hairy, check on your partner first. Once you've confirmed that you're with your partner, then try to keep yourself connected to everyone else.
Wonderful.
There should be a signal of some sort.
Like a verbal signal?
Jerky!
That one.
It's going to be, the signal is going to sound like Revan after he stepped on a Lego. So just everybody practice that a few hundred times. All right. So,
Micah quickly. Okay. Micah ties part of a rope around their left arm and hands the other end to Revan.
I'll tie a rope to myself.
It's not a long rope. It's only.
Why are you shaking your head, Owen?
Yeah, it's only about a yard long, so we have to stick somewhat together. But I think that's kind of by design in this case.
Any other ideas or any objections or anything else before we dive into the belly of this beast? As my eyes twinkle.
I wondered from the DM perspective, there's the functional use of magic sensitivity, given that I learned what ley lines were again,
Mm-hmm.
which is the asking questions, what is magical here? What would that sensitivity do in a place like this? Would I be able to sense fluctuations of what's going on?
Ooh, that would be. Yeah, when the answer is every
'Cause
damn thing.
when
Yeah,
yes is what is magical here.
the shorter list is what is not.
Excuse me for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me
What
know
is triggering my danger sense? Everything.
Actually, your
Yes.
danger sense is quiet. Actually,
Hey!
yeah.
Uh,
So you're not quite about to put your foot in the bear trap. It might be a couple hundred yards away.
Being
I'm
fully
going
honest, I think that's
to-
more concerning.
Sumac.
I'm gonna make full use of this utility belt and stick everything within easy reach. My skinning knife, all of the bows, the caltrops. As far as adventuring gear is concerned, probably some rope.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some oil.
Okay.
Something
Beautiful.
slick.
Something slick. Something borrowed. Something blue.
So that'll be 2 uses of the adventurer's gear for the rope and
Okay.
oil, presumably.
You can actually hang on to that until you need it.
Okay.
So you don't have to specify ahead of time. Okay. So
Ah,
all right. So who's the first one into the labyrinth? Bergthor. All right. So it's
Berkthorn
strange
is
in here.
glorified backpack.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
strange in here. Just yeah. The light is as soon as you get into the labyrinth itself, the light is strangely sourceless. It just seems to be bright enough to see, bright enough to read by. Um, and the fog or mist isn't really a fog or a mist. It's just that's something you can't quite see yet.
How does the light of our glowing companion cut through all of this?
Poorly, in a word.
How does my magical reflection react to the fact that everything is magical?
Nothing's being directed at you yet. So it's your
I'll take it.
it's like ice skating. You don't really skate on ice, you skate on that thin layer of water that you're producing underneath the blade. Same deal. You're just moving through a space that's magical. All right, so Urkthor, you're in front. And your danger sense flares but lazily. Because again, walls are sliding up and sliding down, and you glance, and now there's a new passageway this way. There's one that goes on this way, goes up and makes a right. Um, any particular navigational strategy you're pursuing other than pick a direction?
Now that I'm in it, can I do a recall knowledge on the labyrinth?
Sure.
On labyrinths and
Guys.
magical mazes.
Yes. Go ahead and give me a recall roll, please.
can't do worse than I did.
Okay. So, I will tell you something interesting. Up to you to make it useful. All right. Yeah. Uh, ooh. Um, the books are full of magical crap. Oh, there was this magical trap. And then there's like the trials, and there's like the tribulations, and there's the gauntlet. And so many of them seem to be tests. They seem to be evaluations. Are you smart enough or strong enough, tough enough, um, charismatic enough to make it from where you are to where you want to be? Um, so you can count on a lot of opportunities to succeed or fail. Um, Also, Urkthor's comments have some merit. If you're like, well, I'm going to throw a magical labyrinth together, and it's going to have some fences inside of it, those would probably be recognizable power nodes. Unfortunately, probably if it was a big enough deal that you were guarding something really, really, really magical, that could also be a big deal too. So yeah, count on a lot of so you've succeeded in the test of your brawn. Now let's test your mind, kind of a thing. All
I
right.
said something accurate.
Yeah. All right. So
Even a clock's right
I
twice.
didn't know you were
Broken clock is
capable
right
of
twice a
that.
day.
Okay. Who's standing behind Urkthor?
As in, who's going in next?
Yeah, who's
Urkthor and Shadow's on top of Urkthor.
We're like
Oh,
a
that's right.
unit.
Yeah.
We count as
Yeah.
a unit.
Okay. So you turn because the passage turns, and in front of you somehow there's the passageway, but it's got 3 basalt columns that are coming down slowly and then up slowly and then down slowly and then up slowly. When
In a
it's
sequence, not in parallel, right? Not
no,
3 different pathways that each have, but
no,
in a row.
this is the way in front of you. It's going slowly,
Mhm.
slowly. And as you approach it, it slows even farther, sliding down like a raindrop down a window.
Are there rocks or rubble in the
No,
passageway? No.
no.
Dun-dun.
I have some spare. I've got so much like water and so much food. I have a spare purification stone, one use of it, that I would be willing to toss onto the hex and see what happens.
That's what I'm looking for. Sure. If you want to toss a how heavy is a purification stone?
It's about fat marble size.
So I can magically purify water if we need.
Let's toss the purification stone. I worry it's not heavy enough to trigger anything, but if these things are triggered by anything else.
Okay, so the purification stone bounces twice on this plane. Immediately behind the portcullis doorway, a spur of this basalt pops up. The purification stone bounces off of it, bounces back twice, and rolls to your feet. And that stone sinks into the ground.
Oh boy. So it looks like it's going to try to trip us. That's not nice. But nothing fell from the sky.
The portcullis is still descending slowly. It's a little above head height on you now. And
Did the
continuing
ones that came up, were they like ankle height? Were they like over our head? How high up did we see them go?
just high enough to bounce the stone back to your feet.
So tiny.
Yeah.
I want to pick the stone back up, and I want to bounce it so that it doesn't hit the one on the portcullis, but like it bounces and goes through, and I want to see how long it takes to trigger that effect. So I'm gonna bidding.
Okay. It goes bounce through there, and there's a pause, and you see one of the hexes go thump 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 thump, and it's bouncing. The stone is bouncing higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and things move, things drop, and suddenly that stone is rocketing back straight at your face. Just patink. Yeah.
Excuse me. Whose face? Whose face?
Shadows.
You
I'm
sure about
sorry,
that?
sorry. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Okay, so this thing, if you want to try to dodge, feel free. But yeah, bounces right off your faceplate. Tank, like right here. Punk. Oh, geez, what was that? Yeah.
Okay.
It that it had the you give the impression of somebody put some thought into that.
This is the only pathway forward at the moment.
Well, it again how it's going down really, 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 really slow. Then it drops 3 feet, 3 feet, touches. Just it's not even a wham. You're expecting a wham. It goes click, and
Kisses.
slides back up to about 12 feet, and then starts slowly.
And how wide is this pillar that's lowering?
If you take 3 tree trunks,
Mhm.
put them side by side, it's 3 of those. Like this, yeah, 3 massive dinner plate. So enough for one person to get through easily.
Shadow, buckle up. We're taking a dash.
I stick myself to him very firmly. I'm
I'm
all fours.
going to get in a nice little track start. I'm going to look down the aisleway. I'm going to get ready for something to try to come up and trip me.
Uh-huh.
I'm going
Okay.
to not going to wait for a full cycle, but take a gun at it.
Okay. So I will tell all of you this. You can use any of your stats in order to try to best the labyrinth. Okay. If you do well, you're going to be holding, you're going to be taking hold. Okay. If you build up your hold, you can spend it on stuff. All right. You can use any of your stats. So what is your methodology for getting through this tricky portal?
So long that I can argue that it's applicable, I can use it, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. We're gonna tough it through. Whatever comes up, we're going through Juggernaut in this.
Okay. As soon as you make that, as soon as that thought gels in your head, we're just going to tough this out. The place where you're standing, the portcullis thing slides up, and the place where you're standing and all in front of you sinks into the ground. About you can see you're about well, okay, this is what happens. It fills up with very, very, very murky water.
Mm.
So, as soon as you're like, I'm just going to tough this out, you're standing in 3 feet of just, it's very thin, thin, thin mud. Okay. But it's still kind of water-ish.
All of us are, or just Urkthor?
Not Shadow, because Shadow's on Urkthor's back. The rest of you are behind that. But again, it sinks underneath Urkthor, and there's just this long, shallow canal that he's standing in now.
Perfect. This is more my speed.
Except the water is about 1 degree above freezing. You feel your heat leaching out.
Oh,
So,
man, I hated marching in this type of stuff.
so give me a tough roll, please.
Oh.
Okay. So rolling a 9. Hold 1.
Can I proper drop by sticking my hands in the water and trying to heat it up a little bit?
You may. Go ahead and give me a prop roll, please.
I'm not making your proper drop roll, but I try to help him buck up. I give him a big slap to the shoulder.
Okay, so that makes it a 10. That makes it a 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, 10. All right. So, anybody, I would like one person to track your hold, please. Track your hold. You're currently holding 1. All right. So,
Is that
10 is still
party,
only
or
hold 1?
is that party or individual?
it's party. So
And we did go from a 9 to a 10. It's still only hold 1?
correct.
Okay.
Is this going to be like the impossible quiz where you're not allowed to use any of your holds or your skips till the very end?
Oh no, you'll be able to use them. Yeah. So Urkthor just slogs through this near icy knee length water, and it just seems to extend further and further and further and further. and you just you just bullheadedly just walk, and all of a sudden you're standing on dry ground, and there's a ripple behind you. The water drains away, and the passageway goes to normal. And you're in sort of a wider space here. It's enough for the rest of you to regroup if you
Okay.
choose to.
Uh,
Scott, go ahead.
I can see my party behind me, right?
Yeah, they're joining you now.
It seems to react to your thoughts, so if you've got a specific way you're planning to attack it, it will give you a challenge as you please. So that's interesting and worth noting, probably. We can potentially use this to our advantage, at least for now.
All right. So there are 3 ways out of here, all about 1 person wide. Where do you go?
Oh.
I would say divide and conquer, if there's no way that's the same out of this place.
I would say that's probably wise.
We want to split up?
Uh-oh.
I feel like the maze is going to split us up regardless of if we want to or not.
Oh.
This thing will do what it wants.
It will do what it wants, and it crafts us to our specific mentalities. So it wants to play with us. If we give it what it
And
wants, is that beneficial
these
or not?
passages are too tight for me to actively maneuver if things go wrong. I will have bodies in my way.
Okay. Me and Shadow will take the last path remaining.
Well,
I'll
again,
let-
there's 3. Right, left, or center?
Yeah. Well, we've already got our pairs.
Oh,
Revan
I think
and
he's saying he's going to let them choose, and then he and I will take whatever they don't.
Mhm.
got it.
Revan and I will take the right path.
I'm going to go up to the edge of the right path, and I'm going to smile at the basalt and go, "Oh, mighty labyrinth, you want me to succeed to my best of my ability, and my poor friend here," and I'm going to tap my wooden elemental, "would have trouble getting through this doorway. Would you mind widening it a little?"
Give me a hot roll.
You got it.
God dang, he's charming the labyrinth.
Nice.
I have +3 hot.
Nice.
Oh, damn,
Ooh.
dude.
You ever just
Okay.
riz up an inanimate object?
Yeah.
He's rock
Okay.
hard.
So it widens another couple.
Delia's not here.
It widens a
Uh.
couple of slabs wider, allowing fairly easy access for your elemental. Are you sending it ahead of you?
Oh, I'm gonna walk in between its legs.
Okay. Okay. So, is it
Mike.
getting shorter? The slabs on this either side where its feet are sinking into the ground. Yours are not, and you're
All right, we'll let it go a little bit ahead.
okay. So it's heading that way. What's everybody else doing?
Assuming
Mike
whichever.
was just with Revan.
I think I will take the left.
All right. The left.
And I'm going to have a Sidewinder rattle if he sees any sources of heat that weren't there before.
Okay. The left is again, fairly straight passage, about 20, 30, 40 feet deep at this point. And one of the pillars slides up. And 2 of the pillars slide up. Now it's about 28 feet deep. 4 of the pillars slide up. Now it's about 25. This very slowly continues until it's just you're standing in basically an alcove. What do you do?
For sake of experiment, I'm gonna pull out the compass and see what it does.
Spins lazily in a circle.
Okay, so we are not in an area where that's going to help. So I have an alcove. Is there any definite characteristic to it? Anything that stands out?
All the columns look the same.
Okay. I am going to.
Erkthor, you know
Yes.
that third passage that you two were looking at?
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
There is no third pathway anymore.
Yeah, you were, like you glance over here, you glance back, and there's 3 columns coming up out of the ground, sealing off that passage.
So all we're left with going backwards now, right?
There's no backwards.
Hey, so we're just here.
Yeah.
Um.
There's the passageway that Revan and Micah took.
Oh, that's still open.
Yeah, it's still, you can glance down and see them. The passageway that Sumac was trying has closed itself up into an alcove.
I tap my wrist at Urkthor and to tell him, let's wait.
I like that idea.
Okay.
Clearly, I just chose right, and they should follow, but that's up to them.
We chose the correct path. That's why I chose right.
Mm-hmm.
Center
You asked it
stage
nicely
was
enough.
going to be more my tempo, but
Uh,
The right.
Sidewinder lets out a rattle about the same time, Sumac, that you feel the columns that you're standing on start to shudder for a second. What do you do?
So he's sensing heat. Specifically, is his nose pointed towards?
No, he looks. You can talk to him, right?
Yeah, I can speak. Well, I speak with animals now, but it was always a direct thing there.
Earthquake. Earthquake.
Ah, shit. Take cover.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of hop off the place and circle with Sidewinder.
Okay, beautiful. As soon as you step out of that alcove space, it seals up and the earthquake stops.
Hmm. Interesting.
So, Shadow, you've had an opportunity to think about how you want to tackle this edifice. What would be Shadow's first instinct?
Well, above all else, I'm a pretty quick little guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm probably going something with that. I'm looking to get in, out, dodge,
Beautiful. Okay.
speedy little boy.
Okay. So, the passageway that Revan and Micah went down suddenly widens, like half as wide as a house. And then click, tightens, tighten, tighten, tighten.
I'm dashing the fuck. I'm off of Urkthor and I'm dashing down.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a quick roll, please.
well, there goes my buddy. Mm,
Fun, it's not rolling, please.
Okay, got 2. Oh, 14. Okay, so the rest of you are treated to the sight of Shadow making a mad dash. The walls slam in, and it's just this clicking rattle as all the walls come up, and they jump through at the last minute, tuck and roll. The walls close, and then open to again about a good person and a half wide. So yay, that was 14. Anybody who is tracking hold another 2.
Shadow waves at Urkthor and Sumac and does the little come hither.
Okay.
Do we have anybody tracking that?
I am.
Okay, just
What do
making
you
sure
have?
we have one.
We're at 3.
Okay, so Revan, you suddenly know something. You have a feeling anyway. You don't know it, you feel it. You're kind of sort of making points with the labyrinth. And you feel like you can kind of sort of spend them. Maybe one to find something useful or valuable, maybe two to find something, a safe place, maybe, or something informational. Just to put that out. So,
At this point, once the other two have joined me,
mhm.
I'd like to do an observe roll so I can take advantage of my Wayfinder feat, because I always find a hidden passage or a hidden door,
Was
regardless of if I pass or fail.
Sumac still with me in shadow?
No, Sumac.
I'm in the big room.
Yeah, Sumac's off on her own in alcove. I thought.
No, that was all in one room.
That was all in one
Yeah,
room.
it's all in the
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
I'm in the
so-
general vicinity.
Okay,
So
okay.
you just watched Shadow make a mad dash and barely squeak through, but didn't lose any feathers. So, Sancheva.
Yeah, I'd like to do an observe roll, and specifically, I want to look for anything hidden that we didn't initially pick up on, or anything. Maybe any of those basalt pillars that look like if I get close enough to them, that they'll move. Anything that might react to movement.
Beautiful. Go for it. Mercy. All right. So 3 questions.
Without intervention, what's going to happen next?
Without intervention, what's going to happen next? Feeling you get is that Urkthor has been tested and has been allowed further. The feeling you get is that you have been tested. You actually kind of told the teacher you wanted a pop quiz right now. I double dog dare you. And the labyrinth took you up on that. So, what you should be, you said, what should you be on the lookout for? Opportunities for the others to be tested.
Noted. What? Which adversary is the biggest threat to me right now? What's the biggest threat to my safety? Not the rest of them, mine.
Oh, are you familiar with the concept of a group slap?
Kind of, but explain it to me anyways.
Group slap. It's something that you shouldn't do as a teacher. The one kid in my class pisses me off, and I go, "All
We
right,
punish
no
everyone.
no respect for the
Yeah.
rest of you." Yeah, okay, group slap. So what's the most
Punish all
danger-
for the failing of one.
Yeah, what you should be on the look. What's the biggest danger to you is everybody else screwing the pooch on this. So maybe try real hard so that doesn't happen.
Okay. And then for my last question, what here is not what it appears to be, and I do want that to be separate from my finding my door or my passage. Is there anything that looks out of place?
The mist and the cloud cover, it's not real. It's not real. I mean, you've cleaned stuff off of your feathers enough to know, oh, I walked through this fog bank for 6 hours and I just couldn't get dry, kind of. No, it's complete illusion. Doesn't mean you
Awesome.
can see through it, but it's not real mist, smoke, fog, whatever.
I'm gonna relay all of this to Sumac as she and Urkthor come over, for her to relay to everybody else.
Okay.
And then I'm looking. What did I find? What passage or door did I find?
You can get a dirty look for Sumac. I'm not your translator.
Okay, well, no one else can speak bird right now, and it's important information that I think is going to help us all. I'm sorry that I didn't want you to die.
That's a new
Wow.
one.
I don't hate you. I'm like your fucking snake.
But I will relay the fact that the fog is not real.
And that we shouldn't stay grouped up. We are each other's biggest threat right now.
Well,
How far away are me and Micah?
How far away or what?
Me and Micah, we've just been kind of going down this pathway.
It's like one of those.
Yeah, it's things open up, and now the interesting thing is nothing is closed behind you yet. Okay.
Funny.
So you're just moving through. Oh, Shadow. Strangely, one of the pillars drops and another one comes down about this far above it. So it just stops right at your eye level. Okay, and you realize you're looking. It like widens out ahead of you, but you're like, that's about it. And you're looking into a space. Over on the one side is a stone chest of some sort, fairly matches the decor. Let's just say that. But then there's like a trickle of water coming from between a couple of the stones, and it's pooled on the looks from here. Smells fresh.
Hey, Sumac. There's a box in here that I can't get to, and I think it's got stuff in it, and you know how I feel about stuff.
And then it slides up and closes. It gives you a good look and then closes.
There's something on the other side of that wall.
the labyrinth taunted you.
Honestly, it's teasing me right now.
And
Playing with my feelings, leading me on.
All right.
Carol.
I'm a fair bit distance away from Shadow right now, despite the squawking being very loud and echoing across the basalt. I'm going to see if it's going to let me get over there.
Oh, yes, easily.
Carefully. Okay.
Yep.
Signedwider and I can get up.
So how would you like to approach the perils of the labyrinth, Sumac?
Well, depends on what I see in front of me first.
Peaches wall.
Mm.
Peaches now Shadow swears on everything holy that there's something on the other side of this wall.
Well, I'm gonna go. Where?
There's stuff there. I know there's stuff.
Where? Did you see it?
I tap the specific pillar. Like this one, this one, this one.
I'm going to attempt to inspect that then.
Okay. I'll save you the trouble. The inspection doesn't give you any information. Shadow, you passed along the information that the labyrinth seems to be waiting for people to make up their mind, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
would have passed that on.
So, Sumac, again, given your druthers, what tack are you going to take on getting through here?
You're asking that to a reactionary hunter.
Yeah.
Thinking is usually second.
So, what's your highest stat?
Quick.
Quick.
You get through
Okay.
in and out quickly, and I have a snake that can go 17 miles per hour.
What's your second?
Cool or tough?
Oh, cool, tough. Interesting. All right. As one of the more magically sensitive, you start feeling some shifts. Start feeling some shifts in the magic around you. It would benefit from a deeper study. Do you attempt?
Okay. That's new. I'm gonna start following that.
Okay, give me a cool roll, please.
Hello.
Yes, give me a cool roll, please. Can you hear me?
Oh. Looks like Sumac has been closed off by the labyrinth. We might have to look at.
Anybody there?
We can
Hello?
hear you. You can't. Can you hear us?
Oh wait, she's moving again.
Yay!
A little bit
Can you
at a
hear
time.
us?
There we go. Shadow, no.
Sumac, do you copy?
Okay. Everything froze for a moment.
Okay,
And
you're back now? You hear us?
Yeah.
beautiful.
Fantastic.
Give me a cool roll, please.
Okay.
Out. Mark
Nope.
experience.
Ow.
Yeah. All
Can
right.
I attempt a proper drop since I'm next to Sumac?
It's not gonna matter unless you can raise it by 2.
I think if I get like a 12, I could raise it by 2, right?
Well, I'm also right next to Sumac, so if I can also prop and drop.
Will the labyrinth allow it for a personal test?
Well,
You
in
could
my
argue.
experience, if this is a punish all for one's failings, one of the best ways to
Right.
prevent that is to cover up the failing of the one.
Okay. I'm just going to let it happen. All right. So, the good news is you go ahead and mark experience. The good news is you actually attune yourself to this section of the labyrinth for a moment. It's fascinating. It's almost like a living. It's almost like a living creature, and these pillars are like the structure inside a cactus. Strangely, long rods holding the thing together, cells and stuff. And you're just in the zone on this. You're like feeling it. You're like, wow, I get it. I get the labyrinth. I get it. And that's when the wall falls down. And how many of you were there? Just the three of you?
Right now, me and Sumac are right next to each other. Shadow is down a corridor.
No, Shadow's right there next to Shadow's right there next to
Oh, okay. I thought
Okay.
there was still some space.
Sumac came down the corridor.
Right. So the wall falls away suddenly, and you're looking into a space. Shadow, right over there is that chest that you were looking at. Right over there is that water source. And then there are 4 things walking towards you in strange lockstep. They have the appearance of tall and noble elves. The light catches them oddly. They have the appearance of hardwood. It could be oak, that would be purplish, you don't know.
Sidewinder getting a heat signature from these?
None whatsoever. They all have leaf-bladed spears and shield.
I'm gonna prepare my bow.
I've been ready for this.
All right. So,
You said there's 4 of them.
there are 4 of them, and each of them
There's 3 of us. I have
Makes
another
this a
plus
fair
1.
fight.
I have another
Three of-
+1 to my armor right now.
3 of them plus the snake. 3 of you plus the so one for each. But they're advancing on Sumac, strangely. All right.
Okay.
So,
Do they look menacing as if they're going to use those pointy things?
pretty obviously, yeah. Urkthor,
Okay.
you've been waiting for this. What do you do?
I will first shout out, "Who be there, friend or foe?" Not respond will proceed with violence, and I will be prepping to safeguard if they
Ignore that.
approach any of my allies with violent intent.
Yeah. The 2 in the middle, they're advancing. They've got wooden shields, and these. They all seem to be made out of the same thing. Anyway, so the 2 on the sides are fending. The other 2 are trying to stab Sumac right in the face. Go ahead and give me a safeguard roll, please.
Oh. We let them get that close before we made a decision?
They were right on top of you. Yeah, it wasn't a long walk. All right, so
Okay.
hold 3. Urkthor, what do you do?
How many attacks are incoming?
Well, they're currently only attacking Sumac.
Yes, but how many are they all attacking? Or you said there was like 2 defending, 2 attacking, or
Yes, 2 defending, 2 attacking.
I will redirect one of the attacks to myself,
Uh-huh.
and I will attempt to attack 2 of them as well.
Okay. You've got your sword.
Yep.
Okay, so class damage. All right, so redirect the attack to you.
At least one of them.
Well, again, group combat means it's all one attack with
Oh,
bonuses.
it's fantastic.
Yeah. So you still have a third one.
I was gonna actually, yeah. If it's all considered the same damage, I'll then half that damage as well.
Perfect. Okay. So go ahead and give me a D6 plus 2, please.
Ba-dum. Yeah, that's gonna beat my level. That is just the dice, so that's without the +2. So give me 6 damage.
Okay, so that's 6. Half of that is 3. What's your armor?
They take half damage?
No, this is the damage you're taking.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I've got 2 armor.
Okay, so you take 1 point of damage, and now you can deal class damage to them.
What was their class damage?
1d6 plus 2.
Okay, then I accidentally rolled 1d10 on that, but
Oopsie. Well,
oh well.
it falls within the bell curve. All right.
There's my damage. Do I get to add hard? I don't think I get to add hard to that. No, I
You
don't.
just do class damage. Okay.
Mhm.
So, you want that 7 to go on one individual, spread it out a little bit? Your call.
Specifically onto one of the individuals.
Okay.
Actually, did you say they were attacking with spears?
Leaf-bladed spears, yes.
Could I break off one of the spearheads?
You can certainly try. All right. So, 7 points of damage. Have you ever have you ever chopped wood before?
Yeah, probably.
You know when you got the axe and you bring it down and you hit it just wrong and it's like you're hitting a battleship?
Mhm.
Yeah, you just hit hardwood with your sword. It complains a little bit. Yeah, you managed to lop off the head of this leaf blade sword or leaf blade spear. It apparently is the same kind of wood. You're not sure. This might all be one thing. All right.
Mm.
So,
Okay.
Sumac, you blink and these things are attacking you. What do you do?
Well, shit, there's a lot. I'm gonna take what arrows I have on hand and do a point blank volley on these things with the new bow I've got. I'm gonna spend one of my ammo, and instead of it being above, I'm just gonna throw some arrows on there, pull back, and try to get as many as I can.
Okay. So area of effect. Go ahead and burn that ammo and give me an
Spending the
attack.
ammo. These are regular arrows right now, and I'm using the dread bow for impact.
Okay. Okay. You can't use regular arrows in the dread bow. You have to use the impact ones.
That was not mentioned to me before.
Okay.
Are they just too small?
They're too light is the problem. Okay, let me retcon. You can use regular arrows, you won't get the +1 piercing.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Okay, but you have piercing arrows anyway, so it's all comes out in the wash. All right, go ahead and give me an attack roll, please.
I'm not using the piercing. Using up the piercing ammo. I'm using some of my regular.
You got it. Roll them.
Okay. That's a lot of let fly. So, how many of these things do I hit? I guess.
I haven't seen you roll yet.
Okay.
Oh, 10. All right. So you can hit all 4 of them technically. Go ahead and give me a damage roll, please.
Okay. Damage roll for that is going to be the 1d8, I think.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then Sumacs or Sidewinder's just gonna strike at whatever looks weakest.
Okay. Yeah, sumac has a very unpleasant. I don't know if Sidewinder ever bitten a tree before, but that's just what happened. All right, so he deals 6 points of damage to these things, each one of them actually. Twong, 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 twong. Yeah, for the damage you do, it's like you're shooting at a tree trunk. They don't apparently have any, makes no difference to them. And they're moving in strange and uncanny unison. They all four turn to attack Urkthor. Shadow, what are you doing about that?
Okay. So we're saying Sidewinder can't really do damage to these things.
Sidewinder tries and almost hurts himself, breaking off teeth.
Okay.
Has any of us successfully dealt damage to it yet, from what
You-
we can tell?
Yes. There's been Sumac has done some modifications to structural integrity. You lopped off that sphere point. That's nice.
Okay. So that does seem like to be
Yeah, you're
chunking
having
them down.
you're having an effect, but these things do have some integral armor to them. Shadow, what are you doing?
Well, you said that they're very focused on sumac,
They've turned all their attention to Urkthor.
so they're unaware of me, arguably.
Correct.
I'm gonna use knife in the back then to just roll straight damage.
Okay. Go for it. Okay. 5. Yeah, again, it's like sticking your knife into a wooden wall. Yes, you do some damage. There's sort of a crackle, like an energy discharge on this one. You do
As I
do some
stab
damage.
it,
Uh-huh.
have I noticed, like, do they all turn at the same time? Like, when one turns, do they all, like, in unison? Or
There,
do they act a little independently?
one mind is controlling all of them. These are fingers. What are you asking?
I'm trying to see if I stick onto the back of the one that I just stabbed, if the other three are gonna take advantage of that to just wallop on me.
You don't know. Revan and Micah, you hear the sounds of clash of arms on armor behind you. It's not too distant, but your compatriots are out of eyeshot currently. What do you two do?
I'm gonna look over to Micah and say, "Looks like we picked the right corridor."
I told you we did.
Jerk! All
They
right,
can handle themselves just fine.
Arc,
And that was the
Arcthor,
point of splitting
Yep.
up anyways.
Arcthor. These two are coming at you like the best trained soldiers you've ever seen. The one that you snapped the head off the spear is trying to sweep your leg, while the other three are stabbing you. What do you do?
Whew. Can I safeguard an attack coming at myself?
Sure.
Fantastic. Then yeah, we do that.
All
Boom,
right.
boom,
So you
boom.
hold one.
Uh, let's half the damage.
Awesome. Give me a D6 plus 4.
D6 plus 4. Wait a minute. Well, let's make sure it's actually a D6 this time.
That'd be good.
3 plus 4.
37. All right.
No,
Half
no.
damage. Let's roll that down to 3. So 3 do apply armor.
Okay,
All right.
so another 1 damage.
Correct. Sumac. These things are whomping and wailing on Urkthor. Your arrows are having a minimal effect. What do you do?
I'm gonna jump back at a shot and try to see if I can pinpoint, observe where these things are weakest. What vulnerability do they have?
Oh, go ahead and give me a roll.
It's one of my special observes.
Yes.
Okay. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
Good enough.
Okay.
Joints.
Ah,
Shoulders, elbows, hip, knee, joints. What do you do
Hit it in the joints.
with
Oh,
bow,
no, I'm
club?
That
Yelling
was
that.
said out loud.
Oh, hit him in the joints. All right. So what else are you doing?
I am going to. Is there anyone that looks most overextended, like in a forward position or something like that, trying to get at Urkthor?
Not at all. They are working extremely well together.
Okay. Whatever looks most damaged, I'm gonna throw a arrow into, and since Sidewinder can't necessarily damage them, I'm gonna have him try to wrap around one.
Beautiful. Give me a roll. Let fly.
Roll for the let fly.
Damn. All right.
Oh!
So, all right.
Ah,
All right. Give me a damage roll, please.
okay.
Okay. Again, it doesn't do as much damage as you want, but you do stick it right in the hip joint, so it's not moving well. So the one that you shot kind of falls back. The other three are pressing the attack on Urkthor. Shadow, what do you do?
Okay,
The
what
one
does Sidewinder do in that?
Oh, yeah, actually, Sidewinder whips around and knocks the thing on its back.
Okay, the one I shot.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not down for the count because it's immediately attempting to get back up again, but it's not currently.
I had one more question, and that was, so I'm not getting the piercing with the regular arrows. Is it still forceful in the same way?
Oh shoot! I forgot.
Because I
Yeah,
do have forceful. I
yes, you
launched
do.
something
Yes, you do.
very strong.
Yes, you do. Okay, so yeah, you knock it back. That's a good one. Forceful is going to be very effective. So you knock it back. Sidewinder follows up. Did you want Sidewinder to do anything to take advantage of it being prone?
Yeah. See. I'm gonna see if he can use his body weight to kind of wrap around and keep that thing from getting up. He's probably kind of heavy.
Yes, yes, you can. Okay.
Sit on it.
Okay.
Sit on it.
Your magic sense. That's a wood golem
Mm.
of a kind. Again, you've got a really distant bell ringing in the back of your mind. All right, so Shadow, three of these things. Again, pressing the attack on Urkthor. What do you do?
Do I have any reason to believe that poison will not be effective on them?
They're made of wood.
Unless it's acid.
No, Viper's Tears. Okay, I guess they're still fairly unaware of me. They don't seem very concerned with me. Can I use knife in the back again?
Sure.
Gonna aim for a joint.
Okay. Deal damage. Damn. Okay. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
you actually do this to some good effect. You stab this thing like right in the shoulder and the arm falls off. Well, you kind of lever it off. And so it doesn't have a shield arm anymore. But
Just a flesh wound.
But the spear is still like poking at Urkthor's face.
I snatch the arm and I toss it away for me to grab later. That's wood, baby. That's wood.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know. And we all know I'm not going to finish that. Urkthor, you got three of these things. One of them's been disarmed.
Nifty.
Yeah. You got three spears. I'm sorry, two spears and a club. Trying.
No,
to
one of them's being sat on.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's four.
Yeah. So
we continue to be that sentinel of defense I am, and we safeguard again.
boom. All right.
But bam.
Again, half damage.
Nah, they don't do enough to me. We're dealing damage.
Oh, okay. Give me your class damage, please. Nice.
Let's go.
Okay. Based on that, again, you
Aiming for a joint, of course.
aiming for a joint, of course. Okay. So you lop the other arm off of the one. Now, Shadow's holding onto a head. Oh no, 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 no!
But a flesh wound.
Now I'm off balance. No, this sucks. Okay, so you lop the arms off of the one, and yeah, it's still. Oh, okay. I know what's going to happen. All right. Yeah, these things are hard to get through. They're very, very, very dense wood. All right, but you are down to 2 effectives. And
We've got time.
go ahead and give me a d6 plus 2
I can do this all day so far.
so far. 70% of the time, it works all the time. Take 7.
Yeah. We'll take the 7, reduced by 2 thanks to armor.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Sumac, Sidewinder is holding that one down. It's wiggling and struggling, but that's a lot of snake. What do you do?
All right, so I've got 2 in front still, and they're still in pretty good condition.
One doesn't have any arms. It looks like it's going to try to throw itself under Urkthor's feet to trip him. The other 2 are still whacking and wailing with some blades. He took a few good hits in that last flurry of blows. What do you do?
All right. I'm going to focus on the 2 that have blades at the moment. And I'm going to use those 2 uses of adventuring gear that I had thought of. One being a flask of oil, the other being a flint and steel.
Okay, we'll allow it. Chink, chink, chink. Go ahead and give me a volley roll, please.
Okay, is that going to be let fly
Are
to
you
throw
making
it
a
and then throw
Molotov
sparks at it?
cocktail?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Let's
throwing oil
go.
on it and then I'm sparking.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a let fly, please.
Okay.
Hey, Urkthor. Wow.
Hey!
Time for a bath already? Oh my gosh.
We have the
Hey!
forwards.
Am I the
Does that mean
am I the-
anything? I also acted on my information, so I do have a 1 forward.
I really want
I do. For observe.
I really wanted to set a dwarf on fire. Okay, you miss everybody. Fine. All right, so now there's a large flaming. Oh no, 7 would be a hit. But
Yep.
oh,
That is why.
But it's a dangerous attack. So guess what? All right, so
Come on. The guy who has no arms, let him fling his flaming body into Ukthor.
Okay, so go ahead and give me class damage there, Sumac.
Okay. On the 2 of them.
Just roll it. I'll tell you what happened.
And I'll now say I have a flint and steel because that's the adventuring gear.
Yeah.
The oil's used up though.
Yeah.
I think. Okay.
All right, so 8,
Max!
8 points of damage. All right, now, Shadow, give me a defy danger with quick, please.
I do have danger sense. Would
That
that
is
have gone
true.
off?
Yes. You suddenly got the urge to leap off of this thing just in time for a vial of oil to impact, so you're fine. Yeah. Urkthor.
I'm not letting you set me on fire, Owen.
Because okay, you've got the 2 thing. You've got the danger magnet and you've got the danger sense, so you can kind of sort of see it coming. Go ahead and give me a quick roll to see if you can step back.
Okay, let's see.
Damn.
Let's go.
Okay, fine. All right, that's fine.
Oh.
All right. So yeah. So the
This is
2
so sad.
the 2 well I'm going to say 2 of them. You cut 2 of them with the splash of the oil. They're flaming and burning. One of them does try to hurl itself at Urkthor's feet, but he nimbly steps over it.
Bash it away with the shield.
Okay, now the problem is, Urkthor, you got 2 of them still coming for you. The one shield is on fire, and he's doing a shield bash with the staff. The other one has his stick, and he's trying to trip you and stuff. What do you do?
Question for clarification. Do you still have that hole in your shield?
There are holes around the edges of my shield, and I also, if we're talking about the laser hole from a while ago, I definitely gave that to Micah to fix at some point.
Okay, so give me what are you doing?
There's intentional decorative holes around the outer edge, but that's for different purposes. I'm safeguarding.
Okay, go for it.
Ooh.
Mark XP, please.
That is actually particularly hard for me to do.
Yes. So, okay. Go ahead and deal D6 plus 2.
Okay.
Ah, damn. All right. So the good news is you only take 4 points of damage. The bad news is because it's fire damage, you do not get to apply armor, and you're on fire. And I must run to the bathroom. Can we pause for just a second? I've been sucking down grape juice. We will be right back. Heston, if you want to count us up for just a second, be right back, folks.
No!
I don't like
Anyways,
being on
impromptu break
fire.
is brought to you by Owen's terrible drinking water habits.
Okay.
Do I even want to go off? We'll be back in a sec, I think.
Oh,
We
yeah,
can just
I
keep
think we can just
entertaining them.
blab. Like this is fantastic. Other
I
than
love how
Interesting.
excited all of us were to set you on fire.
that, you still haven't managed to drop me below half yet, though.
Hey,
You know, Micah, this is a really
you happen to
long
be in the
path.
area, and I'm like, wood.
Yeah,
And
Fire's
nothing
good
in
against
this
that.
path.
Revan
Mhm.
and Micah are like, what's going on, man?
No,
We're-
no, no.
we're just
we,
walking
no,
away.
we
And
heard you. We
I had
just
to take
didn't
matters
care.
into my own hands because my fire producer is out over there.
Yeah.
Not very useful right now.
We know you guys are like fighting and everything, but
I
we
believe
split up
in
for a
Uthor.
reason. Yeah.
As you should. I will probably start taking that half damage more often, though.
I
Mhm.
think once we're done with these 4 guys, since it's
Oh,
almost 11, we're
we need
probably
to.
yeah,
I
we
got
need
work
to
tomorrow.
be out soon.
Which, thank you all for anyone who's watching us live for continuing to watch us
Oh no,
live.
we're
We're not on stream.
I
dumbass.
could have sworn we are.
What? Oh no, we're
He's
on.
dumb.
Yeah, no, we're still
Oh,
going.
we are?
Yeah.
He never took us off.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, there's also no one watching, but
How
Watching.
dare you say no one
the
watching?
game tells me there are none.
That's a lie.
I mean, that's real though.
It's kind of late.
Everyone's tired.
Boom, 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 boom. No, I can keep it going.
But yes, fire on wood works well.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts.
That it does.
Fire hurt
Also,
wood.
check for
Boonga
roots.
boonga.
Are these things rooted in anywhere?
Are they
If
edible?
they're moving, I don't
Mhm.
think so. I knocked one down too.
They could be moving, but there could be little tendrils snaking across the floor somewhere that we haven't
And-
noticed yet.
Can Sidewinder eat them?
He
We're not
tried. It hurt.
Like he
It hurt
said,
his whittle teeth.
have you tried eating a tree before?
Oh, he's
Not
back.
effective.
He's
Okay.
back.
Can't say I have.
Can't say I have.
All right.
We're good.
Let us get back to it. Tell me when we're in.
Oh, we're good.
We're in.
We just did entertaining dialogue instead of going out.
Great. Thank you. I wish you would have told me that. Okay, so you're not in the fireplace, Orkthor. You're on fire. All right. So
Only a little bit.
Shadow, you leapt back. You've got one of these things collapses on its side, burning. One of them is burning and just bashed the hell out of Urkthor with the spray of flaming oil sloshes all over him. What do you do?
Given the context, I'm actually going to safeguard Urkthor.
Go for it.
So nice.
Yeah, I need you alive so you can take another hit later.
I can still take like 3 or 4 more.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Roll 3.
Oh.
So you can redirect an attack, have an attack effect, give an ally +1 forward, or deal damage to the attacker equal to your level.
I'm I can use all 3 right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Sumac +1, and I'm gonna deal damage to the one that's still up and trying to smack him.
Okay. I'm going to retcon that. So, Urkthor, you don't take 4 points of damage. Did we say 4?
We did say 4 irreducible.
Okay. So you're going to be, you only took 2, but you are still on fire.
Phew.
So go ahead and deal your damage. What level are you?
I'm level 6.
6. Okay. Yes. And since you said you were focusing on joints, are you trying to slow it down, knock it down, lop off an arm?
I'm going for a hip. I'm trying to lop off a leg.
Okay. Yep. It works. It falls over into the pool of burning oil. So you really only have one coming after you, Urkthor, and it's the one without. It's the first one that you encountered. It doesn't have a spear; it has a staff.
And Sumac, you've got +1 to your next
Yep.
Okay.
attack.
So what are you doing, Sumac?
I am going to aim an arrow at that thing to try to shove it in the fire with the rest.
Nice. Hit it.
Okay. 8. Still the same thing.
Okay. Since you're not worried about the damage, yeah.
I'm gonna take what I can get and take the
Perfect.
lesser damage to get it shoved in there with my forcefulness.
Perfect. All right. So, at this point, you have 3 of these things crackling merrily. They fairly quickly stop moving, and you have the one that's pinned down by Sidewinder. So, what do you do?
I'm going to first, stop, drop, and roll.
Nice.
Let's not
doing
be on
that.
fire.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull out my ghoul knife and start taking it to the joints, the arms and legs of this thing that's currently trapped on the ground.
Okay. Strangely enough, when you get a good look at them, all of them are made, each individual one is made from the same thing. The shield is made from the same thing as the spear is the same thing from the body. The one that you've got here, it again carved into the likeness of a noble elven warrior. Again, the design of the shield, the design of the weapons is all very elfy to you. But each of them is made from a different kind of wood. The one that you've got is actually might be ebony.
So it's black?
Yes.
Wow.
The other one was pretty obviously some sort of oak. And then the other 2 are, we'll just say, tropical hardwoods that you haven't seen in a very, 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 very long time. And secrets don't make friends there, you two. And Shadow,
I don't know what you're talking about.
the street value of this thing taken apart is almost incalculable. It's this is a lot of jingle on the hoof if you can get it.
How much does my arm that I tossed away weigh?
Call it 1.
Fuck.
All right. So now Revan and Micah, you've been following this passage. It twists and turns, it makes a right, it twists and turns, it makes a right, twists and turns, it makes a right, and it opens up in front of you. You're with them. You just stepped out of the wall, slid down, and there's a chest over here. There's a rivulet of water coming out. There's 4 flaming torsos.
3.
I'm sorry, 3 flaming torsos, and you see Sumac disjointing something as her snake moves a little to the side. A little to the left there, guy.
But the chest is on the ground and nothing.
I'll go
like,
over to this chest.
yeah,
that
I was gonna say, I'm
put
gonna
in my
go
way because this maze loves me. So therefore,
we chose the right path. We're gonna go examine this chest.
Okay. It seems to be just a simple stone chest with a flat lid on top. But
Owen, I do want to remind you, it is 10:50-ish.
yes, we're wrapping up right now. The chest resists all efforts to open it.
Okay. How about we delay that then? Finish combat,
Combat is
and
done.
then we go to bed.
We finished
And
combat.
we can.
Combat is
Oh, you
done.
okay? Combat's done.
Yeah.
How about we call it here for the night?
but cool
Well,
chest.
I understand,
I do
cool
that.
chest.
Something
And
for
the
our
round
viewers to look
wrap-ups.
forward to.
But something
What's in
for
the
us to look
chest?
forward to.
No, this is a follow-up on something that Shadow started, so I'm just going to give this one to you. Everything you try in this chest does not work until you say, hey, Shadow, you're the burglar, come over here and look at it. You lift it up with 2 wingtips because apparently it was waiting for you. And inside it's just a bag of copper pieces, like old copper pieces, but they are polished to within an inch of their lives. These are the shiniest of and they all match and they're perfect. And you could do so much. Yes, exactly. Yes. So apparently this was waiting here for you. All right.
It's all I've ever wanted.
Yes. End of session. Also, you find yourself in a vaguely safe space. So,
Hey.
all right. So check your motivations, folks.
And I've
Check
got quite a bit of ebony pieces by this point, I take it.
Yeah, basically 2 arms, 2 legs, the head, and if you want to get a saw, you can start cutting into the torso. The
Okay.
interesting thing
What
is,
was my arm made of?
why don't you look up? It's made of purple heart. Purple heart. You can look that one up. It's heavy as shit. That one's going to be 2 weight. Purple heart is heavy,
Okay.
but
You
it's so
said
cool. So
2 arms,
cool.
2 legs, and a torso or a head.
Yeah. Yeah, torso and a head. You'll have to use a saw. The funny thing is, when you look at these things, they're all one piece. You have no idea how they moved. Even it's like, yeah, it's there was some serious magic going on here. All right, so end of session. Check your motivations. See if you met them. Anybody have a question about their motivation?
Yeah, so mine's exchange of sacrifice freely given for a service rendered. Does pissing off Delia to like an extreme just to give Revan a spirit count?
Actually, the whole situation with you and the sacrifice and the spirit and Revan, that's the right church. So go ahead and mark 1 XP for that. Yeah, you may have alienated Delia for a while, so that would be
Good.
I don't know how much we count that as a sacrifice, though. Anybody else have any question about whether or not they hit their motivational goal?
I definitely killed something unnatural today.
Yes, you did, and endangered yourself to do so. So mark XP. Anybody else?
My thing is Daredevil caused trouble by taking an unnecessary risk. I did cause quite a problem for Delia by shaking my very drunk and probably close to like sickness and death party member violently. I feel like
that could have gone a lot worse. Yeah, go ahead and mark XP. Revan?
I've got a no-go on altruism. I didn't use any magic to directly aid anyone today.
No, you kind of
It just existed.
thought it off. That'll be fine. Direct pressure.
He did use magic to like do a favor for me.
Well,
I did specifically ask him to pick up the spirit and everything if he would, and he used magic to directly aid in that.
I did do that. I made a contract. Well, I see it as a new friend. I'm not sure how the spirit feels.
Yeah, go ahead and mark XP. Urthor?
I confirmed with the lore keepers that our lore was being kept to tell our tale. So I do believe that I'm spreading my glory.
Nicely done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a pretty big party. It was a pretty bad party. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah, but do you have lore? What? Did they set it to music? Is there
is there a record? Is there a production? I want choreography and
never change, Urthor. Never change. We love you.
All right. On everything.
Check your keys, folks. Check your keys.
Mine is collector. Tell me about something so I can steal it unwisely. The maze, the labyrinth, showed me something that I may or may not have accidentally set Sumac up for failure there.
Yes, you did. Mark XP. Urthor, pitch key.
I do believe I am giving the group a lead, as well as making decisions that could be later criticized if they come back to bite us.
Sure. Mark XP. Revan?
Thor is fine. I'm rather trusting. They got it.
See, okay, on the one hand, yes. On the other, I think you're just like dragging Delia along to pull experience.
Well, no. I think he was rather trusting of Micah. He woke up in an unfamiliar place with no context.
Did ask if he was going to sacrifice me.
Yeah, but then you trusted when I said no.
Yeah.
This is true.
Mark XP.
Whether that's because I told you Light Queen just doesn't like you yet.
Yes. Micah, did you hit your key?
I did not.
Okay. And Sumac?
Mine is trying to keep me on task so I can go herring off after a mystery.
No, you were trying. You were like, I'm going down here. No, I'm going to go. Okay.
It doesn't want to let me.
Yeah, mark XP for that. All right. So the big 3. Did you learn something new about the world?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Did everybody mark XP? Did you overcome a noteworthy foe?
Yeah.
I killed some
I'd-
trees.
I'd say so. I think this is the hardest fight you've had thus far.
I took
Honestly.
more than 10 damage.
Yeah.
Mm.
So everybody mark XP for that. And did you recover a noteworthy treasure?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I got lots of black wood.
Yes.
Wood.
I did have a blood. I did have a blood change too, with Revan.
We'll get to that. You can start though. What was your change in blood with Revan?
Revan has opened up to the idea of the Light Queen. He may not be as bad as I thought he was.
Okay, mark XP. Anybody else have any resolution on blood?
I have one for Sumac, I think. I can trust her to act on good information. I can trust her to work with me as a partner.
Partner, mercy.
Mhm.
My, how the tables have turned. Awesome. Mark XP. Anybody else have any change of heart or wanted to add? This is another thing. You can also add an additional blood with somebody if you want to.
Don't trust the bird at their word. Danger normally follows.
But bird is the word.
But Bird
Lord.
also bluntly told you that I don't want you to die and I care about your well-being.
Yeah, but the bird.
Didn't that mean something to you,
Sure, I
Sumac?
believe that.
The bird also told Sumac that they had loot that they could go grab. To which not only did that almost get Sumac killed, but that was a lie because only the bird could open the chest.
No.
If
I said
anyone
hey,
got
there's
close
something
to being
in there.
killed, it was me only, because everyone else, I believe, got out of that scot-free.
Hold on.
You're-
I was like, hey, there's something in there and I think we should
You're
go
blocking
get
the
it,
way.
but I can't get in there myself.
I was prepared to deal with, but I knocked enough back to not have the issue.
Listen,
yeah.
Duke
These are
Thor was
in front.
fine. I'm on fire all the time.
Mhm.
I'm prepared to take damage if I need to. You just happen to be in the way.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good at that.
Sometimes Urkthor is just like, I'm cold, I'm tired, I'm on fire, put me out, me. Okay, that's fine. So, Anyway.
Yeah, how you might have still been a bit wet as well, unless that dried immediately.
Just from my shins down.
Just your chin?
Yeah, that's right, Owen.
You're a dwarf. I mean,
Sure, remember
you're
that forceful
pretty,
earlier, then I could have knocked them
pretty
all down.
short. I feel like you might have been wet from the waist down, at least.
Hey, okay. So I've been asked to do a stand-up comedy routine for the local gaming convention. And I wrote this joke about getting into a fist fight with a dwarf, but I think it's punching down.
A little below the belt.
Owen.
What else is there? Right to the knee, left to the thigh. Yeah, okay.
Well, there's a perfect place to hit
Contact.
when you're dwarf size.
I'm done. Thank you, faithful viewers, for sticking with us this long.
We
we're trying
got our gold. Okay.
got our gold star. What? Oh, gold stars. I'm
stars.
sorry.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's things.
Yes.
Those things.
Hey, take it away. Micah. Who gets your gold star for the evening?
Revan, easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Revan, who gets yours, buddy?
I'm not sure immediately.
We'll come back. Sumac, who gets yours?
Probably Orkthor.
Right
Made a
on.
pretty good meat shield.
Awesome. Arthur, who gets yours?
I'm also gonna send it over to Revan for being a fantastic ragdoll.
Nice. And Shadow, who gets yours?
I'm gonna give it to Sumac for being smart enough to get that awesome bow and like kind of annihilating combat.
Yep. Very handy. And back to Revan. Who
I
gets yours?
think Sumac does get another star for, lighting things on fire. Anytime fire's involved, good idea, definitely.
Yep.
Never will regret saying that, ever.
Yes.
Okay, the thing is, that's the first time I pulled it out.
Yeah.
I've used it with impunity.
Keep in mind, Revan is tied to a rope with the person who sets things on fire.
I also
Yeah, I
have
was
a
aware.
wooden arm.
My normal fire source wasn't here, so I was like, "Ugh."
And you currently have a large wood elemental next to you.
Yes. Okay, so my GM gold star. Boy, that's That's difficult. Because first of all, I'm really glad that we're back and doing our shenanigans again. Um, uh, uh, who am I gonna? I'm gonna have to say Urkthor. Um, just yeah. I'm yeah. I like the direction you're dragging this character, and it's it's fitting with the vibe. And I also, it makes my heart go pit a pat that you're like, no, I'm going to be a real leader. I'm going to be a real leader to my folks here, and I'm going to protect them. Again, did anybody see that? Is anybody writing this down? You know, I'm like, there he is. There's the Urkthor,
I am stout.
glory,
I
this
am,
glory
am
hog that we've known and loved for. So there he is. Oh, I thought he was going to be all noble and shit. No. Make sure the billboard. You are K. Make sure you get the apostrophe. So I love that. So that's for you.
When
All
you
right.
told
Thank
me
you.
they taught me how to make the impact arrows, the big ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll figure that out
so
later.
next time, folks, we are currently negotiating amongst ourselves for scheduling. So it could be next Tuesday, could be the following Tuesday, but we will keep you, our faithful viewers, very much informed and up to date on that. Also, if you like this game, if you're like, hey, post-apocalyptic fantasy, it's currently out, available for sale at itch.io. Links in comments. So feel free to take a look. Also, there are going to be more community copies. Basically, for every 11 of the copies sold, we'll put another community copy up there for those who might not have the money, the cash flow right now, post-holiday. So do take a look, add us to our collection. Thank you again for watching No Theoretical Bias. I am your host, Saga Smith on Discord. So count us out there, boss, and we will see you on the flip side. Cheers. Game on.